My beloved child. This is not just another month on the calendar. It is a divine beginning, a sacred invitation into a deeper walk with me. I offer you more than just another cycle of days. I offer you restoration, strength, clarity, and blessings beyond what your heart has dared to dream. Imagine yourself wrapped safely in my arms. Can you feel it, the peace that comes when you know you're not alone? My presence is your home, your refuge, your shelter from the chaos that surrounds you. In my embrace, fear has no voice, and anxiety has no power. This month, I lovingly pour out over you a fresh portion of success, courage, and favor. Not as a reward for your perfection, but as a gift of my grace. You've held on through long nights and silent storms, and now, my child, you will see why I asked you to endure. Come closer. Each moment you choose to be with me opens a door to deeper revelation. A few quiet minutes in my presence can shift the course of your day, and your life. Let your soul drink from the well of my spirit. Let your thoughts be guided not by fear, but by my promises that never fail. I see your efforts. I see how you've kept walking even when your heart was tired. And I say to you now, hold on just a little longer. For I am preparing something new, something radiant, something holy, and it has your name on it. Let this be a month of divine alignment. A time when you stop chasing what was never meant for you and start embracing what I've been waiting to give you. Let this be the season when peace becomes your portion and clarity lights your path. You don't have to strive to be seen. I already see you. You don't have to shout to be heard. I already hear you. What I desire is your nearness. What I long for is your heart. So take a breath, beloved. Rest in the truth that I am with you, now and always. You are not forgotten. You are chosen. You are treasured. This month is yours, not because you earned it, but because I ordained it. Walk in it boldly, knowing I go before you, and I walk beside you every step of the way. My dear child. Today I celebrate your quiet courage, the kind that doesn't need applause or recognition, the kind that simply chooses me, again and again, in silence and in trust. You came before me not because everything was perfect in your life, but because something inside you believed I wouldn't turn you away. That kind of faith is beautiful in my sight. That kind of trust moves the heavens. I have seen your journey, not just the public moments, but the hidden ones. The tears cried alone. The nights when your heart was too heavy for words. The days you chose hope over despair, even when doubt tried to drown your spirit. I saw it all. And I say to you now, none of it was in vain. You are still standing because I have carried you. Even when you thought you were walking alone, I surrounded you. I protected you from dangers you didn't even see. I healed wounds you never had the strength to explain. And I silenced enemies before they could reach you. I want you to know that I'm not done. The same hands that held you yesterday will lift you higher in the days to come. This month, I am opening doors, not because you've earned it, but because you've believed. Your faith, though it trembled at times, never let go of me. And because of that, I will bless you. But I ask you now, do not let doubt enter your heart. Do not give fear the seat that belongs to faith. The moment you begin to compare your journey with others, you will lose sight of the unique story I am writing in your life. Their blessings are not your blueprint. I have carved a different path for you, one that leads to joy that's real, peace that stays, and purpose that fulfills. If you want to see provision rain from heaven, keep your heart open to my voice. Keep your mind aligned with my truth. Do not walk in disobedience just because the world says it's easier. Do not chase temporary comfort and miss eternal reward. What I give is greater than what this world can offer. Each morning, seek me. Each evening, rest in me. Let my word be your compass, not your emotions. Before you move, ask me. Before you speak, listen for my whisper. And when you don't know what to do, just be still. That stillness creates space for my power to move. You are here because you believed. You are standing because of my love and your faith working together. And I promise you, I will not let you fall. I will watch over you. I will guide you. I will lift you from strength to strength and glory to glory. So don't let go now. You're closer than you've ever been. Heaven is watching, and I am smiling upon you. This month is sacred. Walk in it with boldness and peace. I am with you, every single step. My beloved. I have placed a mission deep within you, one that carries eternal weight, one that is unlike anyone else's. Before you were born, I crafted this calling with tenderness and purpose. I etched it into the very foundation of your soul. It is yours, and only yours, to walk in. But listen closely to me, child. Just because a dream burns within you does not mean it is time to run. Enthusiasm is not the same as clarity. Desire is not the same as direction. There are moments when I call you to move swiftly, but there are also moments when my greatest act of love is to ask you to wait. Do not confuse motion with obedience. The world will shout, hurry. Start now. Don't fall behind. But I speak in a quieter voice, one filled with wisdom and grace. I say to you, wait until I lead. Then go where I send you, not a step sooner. Emotions are wonderful servants but poor guides. I did not create you to be ruled by every wave of feeling. I created you to walk by my spirit. And my spirit leads with peace, not panic. With stillness, not confusion. With assurance, not restlessness. When you feel the urge to act, to fix, to rush, pause. Bring it to me. If you feel an opportunity calling your name, place it before me. I will confirm what is from me and remove what is not. Trust that I am not withholding anything good from you. I am only preparing the ground so that when you arrive, you are ready, and so is the blessing. Picture yourself resting in my arms, not striving or scrambling, but simply trusting. That is where your strength grows. That is where your heart calms. And that is where I shape the clearest vision for your life. I know the way. I see the entire map, not just the next step, but the final destination. And if you walk when I say walk, you will not grow weary. If you run when I say run, you will not stumble. If you rest when I say rest, you will be renewed. This month, let me direct your heart. Let me write the schedule. Let me close the wrong doors, even if they look appealing. Let me protect you from paths that will drain your soul and distract you from your purpose. And when others around you seem to be soaring ahead, resist the urge to compare. What I'm doing in your life may be hidden for a season, but it is never inactive. Seeds grow quietly before they bloom. Roots strengthen before the tree bears fruit. I want to bless you in my way, not in the way of the world. Not through imitation, but through authenticity. Not by chasing what others have, but by receiving what I have crafted just for you. I have prepared gifts with your name written upon them. I have scheduled moments of divine favor just for you. You will not miss them. You will not be late. You will arrive exactly when grace is ready to meet you. So walk with me. Trust me. Let me pace your journey. I am not only your destination, I am the one who walks beside you the entire way. My beloved. In the rush of daily responsibilities, I see how your heart longs to rest, to breathe, to feel something deeper than routine. Life pulls you in many directions, but I invite you to pause, just for a moment, and return to me. Even 5 minutes in my presence can renew what the world has drained from you. Do not wait for the perfect time to seek me. Come in the middle of your busy schedule. Come when your mind is tired. Come when your heart feels numb. I do not need a polished prayer or elegant words. I simply desire you, just as you are. I long for a relationship that isn't limited to moments of crisis. I want to walk with you in the ordinary. In your commutes. In your quiet mornings. In the spaces between conversations. Let me fill those in-between moments with purpose. My presence is not reserved for church buildings or special days, it's available every second, wherever you are. When you come to me daily, you strengthen the most important part of your life, your spirit. And a strong spirit can carry you through any storm, any decision, any delay. These small moments with me are not small in heaven. They shape your destiny. In the stillness, I whisper wisdom. In your quiet trust, I pour out strength. When you come to me consistently, you will begin to notice how your thoughts shift, from fear to faith, from anxiety to clarity, from survival to purpose. This is how I build you, gently, consistently, lovingly. You may not see dramatic changes in a single moment, but day by day, my hand is reshaping your life from the inside out. Each time you sit with me, I work. Each time you open your heart, I move. I do not ask for hours. I ask for intentionality. I don't measure your faith by how long you pray, but by how often you remember me, trust me, and invite me into your day. Let your relationship with me become your lifestyle, not a rescue plan. You were never meant to carry everything on your own. Even your calling, your dreams, your deepest hopes, lay them at my feet. Let me carry what is too heavy. Let me strengthen what feels weak. I don't just want to guide you, I want to walk with you, every step, every breath, every burden. This month, create sacred space, not out of pressure, but out of desire. You will be amazed at what I reveal when you make room for me. I have wisdom to share. I have comfort to give. I have direction to speak. But you must come and sit with me. You don't need to strive to be perfect in my presence. Just come. Even when you're uncertain. Even when you're weary. Even when your faith feels small. Because when you do, something holy begins to take place, your heart softens, your soul breathes, and my spirit ignites new vision within you. So come. I am already here, waiting. My child. I know you've been waiting, sometimes with joy, other times with silent questions. You've seen others walk into their breakthroughs and wondered when it would be your turn. I want you to hear this clearly, I have not forgotten you. And I have not changed my mind about the blessings I promised you. But listen, I will bless you my way. Not the world's way. Not the rushed way. Not the comparison-filled way. I am not a God of shortcuts or empty flashes of success. What I prepare for you is lasting. Rooted. Eternal. And it will come at the perfect moment, the moment when you are ready to carry it with peace and wisdom. Do not measure your life by what others display. Do not compare your timing with theirs. I am doing something unique in you. What they need, I've already given them. But what you need, I am still shaping, protecting, refining. Not to delay you, but to prepare you. If you saw what I'm building behind the scenes, your heart would overflow with peace. You would stop worrying and start praising. You would let go of envy and rest in confidence. So many of my blessings for you are already on their way, but I must align your character with your calling. Otherwise, the weight of the gift could crush what I've placed inside you. Don't look at others' platforms, achievements, or applause. Some receive in the spotlight. But you, child, you are being developed in the secret place. And that is where my most powerful anointing is birthed. I don't want you to mimic others or chase after their favor. That will only lead to exhaustion and disappointment. Instead, look to me. Let me show you what I've uniquely created you to carry. The treasure I've placed in your life doesn't need to shout, it simply needs to shine. And know this, I am not withholding anything from you. I give generously. I bless without sorrow. But I also guard you from what you're not yet ready to hold. If I've closed a door, it's because what's behind it was not for you, or not for now. If I've allowed silence, it's because I'm inviting you to listen deeper. If I've said, not yet, it's not rejection, it's redirection. So come closer. Keep trusting. Keep following. The blessing will come, but it will arrive in a way that protects your peace, honors your growth, and brings me glory. And when it does, you'll know, it could only have come from me. My beloved. In a world filled with noise and imitation, I want you to remember something sacred. I have set you apart. You are not called to follow the crowd. You are not created to copy what others do. Your journey is unlike anyone else's, because I handcrafted it with my own wisdom and love. Stop looking around to measure your worth. Stop weighing your progress against someone else's highlight reel. What I've planted in you is not meant to grow in their soil. The gifts I've placed within your spirit are not for comparison, they are for consecration. You may feel like others are ahead. You may be tempted to mimic their methods, chase their rhythm, or reproduce their success. But I say to you, what I have designed for you will not fit anyone else's mold. Do not shrink your calling to match the world's standards. I did not call you to blend in, I called you to radiate from within. Coveting another's path will only rob you of the joy found on yours. When you stare too long at their blessings, you become blind to your own. And what you envy may not carry the peace it appears to. What glitters from a distance may be heavy to hold in reality. I have prepared your blessings with precision. I've written your story with intention. Every chapter, every delay, every unseen seed is part of a divine design. Trust it. Trust me. Let your heart rest from comparison. It is a thief of joy and a poison to your purpose. Instead, lift your eyes to me. Let me show you the treasures I've already placed in your life, the moments of grace, the quiet victories, the inner growth that no one sees but heaven celebrates. Even when you don't feel like you're making progress, I am moving. Even when your efforts seem small, I am multiplying. Even when others seem louder, flashier, or faster, I am steady in my work within you. I don't rush masterpieces. And you, child, are my masterpiece. Do not envy their influence or their applause. Often, what the world applauds is not what heaven values. Some carry burdens you cannot see. Some shine on stages but are broken in private. I do not call you to a life of performance. I call you to a life of presence, with me. Celebrate others, yes. Rejoice in what I do through them. But never believe that their blessing means I have forgotten you. I do not run out of favor. I do not divide my attention. My plans for you are still unfolding, perfectly, beautifully, faithfully. Stay focused. Stay rooted. Stay thankful. When your heart is content in me, you will begin to see how extraordinary your path truly is. My child. There are eyes that watch you, not all with kindness. There are spirits that envy what you carry, though they don't understand it. There are voices that speak from the shadows, hoping to rattle the peace I've placed within you. But hear me now, you are not defenseless. I am your shield. Not a fragile covering that wavers in the storm, but a fortress, steady, immovable, wrapped in the fullness of my love. I do not ask you to defend yourself against every attack. I ask you to come and rest in me. I will guard your mind. I will guard your heart. I will guard your purpose. There are blessings I've given you that don't belong on display. Not because they are meant to be hidden, but because they are sacred. Protect what is holy. Do not cast your pearls before those who only seek to trample them. Let me teach you how to walk in wisdom. Not everything I give you must be announced. Not every miracle must be shared. Sometimes, the greatest power is in the stillness, when you carry my presence quietly, when your soul glows with my peace and doesn't seek the spotlight. When others boast about their strength, stay humble. When the world praises the loudest voices, let yours be anchored in gentleness. You are not called to impress, you are called to impact. And impact flows not from performance, but from presence. There are those who thrive on attention. They build altars of applause and find comfort in being seen. But they are often weary, for their hearts are not rooted. You, child, must be different. Be grounded in me. Let your joy come from my approval, not theirs. If I choose to elevate you, it will not be for pride. It will be for purpose. And if I ask you to remain in the background for a while, it's because I'm growing something precious in the soil of your soul. Trust my timing. Trust my hiding. Trust my revealing. When the enemy comes with jealousy, with fear, with confusion, do not argue. Do not fight with flesh. Come to me. I will silence the accuser. I will calm the storm. I will handle what you were never meant to carry. Rest in my arms, and you will find safety no threat can steal. Abide in my presence, and no darkness can overtake you. I am not only your God, I am your defender. Let my peace be your armor. Let my spirit be your light. You are never outnumbered when you are with me. So walk boldly, live gently, and trust that I cover you completely, now and always. My precious child. When the world grows loud and your soul grows weary, I want you to know, I am still here. Closer than your very breath. I am with you in the moments when no one else notices, in the silence where your heart speaks the loudest, and in the pauses between your words where your pain hides. I see what others overlook. I hear what others ignore. You are not invisible to me. There have been times when you wondered if your tears even mattered, when you cried into your pillow late at night and whispered prayers that seemed to vanish into the dark. But I was there. Every tear you've shed is known to me. Not one has been wasted. I've collected them like precious pearls, storing them in the treasury of my heart. And each one carries meaning, purpose, and promise. I know how heavy life has felt at times. You've tried to be strong for everyone around you, carrying more than you were ever meant to bear. You've smiled when you were breaking. You've encouraged others while wondering if anyone would encourage you. But you've never carried it alone. Let me say this clearly, I have never abandoned you. Even in moments when I seemed silent, I was working behind the scenes. I was arranging healing before you even knew you were wounded. I was answering prayers before you knew how to ask them. I was preparing a way when you couldn't even see a path. You are not forgotten. You are not unseen. And you are certainly not unloved. I know how exhausting it can be to constantly try to appear okay. I know how loud the lies of unworthiness can be. But I speak truth over you now, you are valuable to me. You are a masterpiece in progress, and what I see in you is not failure, but potential. Not brokenness, but beauty rising from the ashes. Come, rest in my presence. You don't have to perform here. You don't have to explain yourself. Just be. Let the weight fall off your shoulders. Let my love wash over every wound. Let my voice be louder than your inner critic. You are fully known and still fully loved. Nothing you feel can scare me away. Nothing you've done can cause me to withdraw my affection. I knew you, truly knew you, and still chose you. So take a deep breath, child. Let go of the masks. Come as you are. Sit with me in the stillness and know, I am with you, I am for you, and I will never leave you. My beloved child. I know how easy it is to feel discouraged when the waiting stretches long, when your prayers seem to echo unanswered, and when your heart begins to wonder if I've changed my mind. But today, I want to remind you with unwavering certainty, I have not forgotten what I promised you. My word does not return void. My promises are not shallow comfort, they are eternal truths, rooted in my love and sealed by my faithfulness. When I speak something over your life, not time, not trouble, not even your doubts can cancel it. I see how you've held on through storms. You've chosen to believe even when circumstances told you to let go. You've whispered amen through tears. You've prayed without answers. And I say to you now, every ounce of that faith has moved my heart. There are things I've spoken over your life that you haven't seen yet, but that doesn't mean they've expired. Some promises take time to mature. Just as seeds are planted in the dark before they bloom in the light, some of my greatest gifts are hidden for a season while I prepare both the blessing and the one who will carry it. Don't mistake delay for denial. Don't assume silence means abandonment. When you can't see what I'm doing, trust that I am still working. Behind the curtain of your understanding, I am aligning hearts, shifting situations, and building strength within you that you didn't even know you needed. I'm not asking you to figure it all out. I'm not asking you to force the promise to come to pass. I'm asking you to believe, with the simplicity of a child, that I am good, that I am near, and that I will never go back on my word. Let my promises be the foundation under your feet. When doubt tries to creep in, speak the truth I've already declared. When the enemy whispers that I've forgotten you, lift your eyes and remember all the ways I've been faithful. Count the small mercies. Remember the prayers I have answered. Let your history with me fuel your hope for what's coming. Because, child, what's coming is worth the wait. The breakthroughs you've prayed for. The healing you've longed to feel. The peace that seemed so far away. The restoration that looked impossible. I see it all. And I'm not just preparing it for you, I'm preparing you for it. Be patient. Not passive, but patient, active in your trust, intentional in your worship, steadfast in your hope. You are not walking in circles. You are walking in purpose. Every step, even the painful ones, are leading you closer to the promise I made. And when the time is right, it will come, not rushed, not delayed, but perfectly on time. Until then, hold tightly to my word. Let it comfort your soul like sunlight warming cold skin. Let it be the melody you hum when everything else is silent. And know, with unwavering confidence, that I always finish what I start. My dear child. I did not breathe life into you so that you would merely exist, dragging yourself from day to day, barely holding on. I created you for fullness. For meaning. For joy that overflows and a peace that cannot be shaken. You are not here just to survive, you are here to live, and to live abundantly. When you look at your life and see only broken pieces, I see the mosaic I'm building. I am not deterred by the cracks, the scars, or the mess. In fact, those are the places where my glory shines brightest. I take what's fractured and make it whole. I take what's discarded and turn it into treasure. And I'm doing the same in you. I know it's been hard. I know the battles have left you weary. You've grown tired of hoping. Tired of trying. Tired of believing that something better is coming. But let me speak truth over you now, better is not only coming, it is already on the way. Victory is not a far-off dream. It is your inheritance as my child. Not because you've earned it, but because I've promised it. And my promises are unbreakable. You may not feel strong. You may not feel qualified. But I don't need your perfection, I simply need your permission. Say yes to me. Let me be your strength where you are weak. Let me fill your emptiness with purpose. You don't have to do this alone. You never have. Stop waiting until you feel ready to live the life I've called you to. I will equip you as you move. I will guide you as you trust. I will part seas in front of you that seemed impossible only moments before. I do not send you into battle unarmed, I go before you, behind you, and beside you. You've survived so much already. You've walked through valleys where others have fallen. You've kept your heart tender when it would have been easier to go numb. That resilience, that hope, it's not an accident. It's my spirit at work within you. So today, I ask you to rise. Not in striving, but in surrender. Rise in faith. Rise in praise. Rise in quiet confidence that I am not done with your story. I am just beginning. I will flood your heart with new desires, holy desires, to live, to love, to serve, to grow. I will fill your mouth with truth and your mind with wisdom. I will lead you into places where your light will shine and others will be drawn not to your strength, but to mine. Do not be afraid of the future. I hold it. Do not be afraid of failing. I will catch you. And do not be afraid to succeed, I will keep your heart humble and your purpose clear. This life is not just about enduring. It's about becoming. And I am making you into something beautiful, something unshakable, something eternal. Walk boldly. Live fully. This is your time, and I am with you in every step. My beloved. I see the weight you carry, though you hide it well. You smile, you show up, you do what's expected. And yet, beneath it all, you're tired. Not just physically, but deeply, in your soul. You've been holding so much together for so long, and I know there are moments when it feels like everything might fall apart if you pause for even a second. But child, I didn't create you to carry the world on your shoulders. That role belongs to me. Let me carry what's been crushing your spirit. Let me lift what was never yours to bear. You were not made to endure alone, to solve every problem, to hold everyone else up while your own heart breaks in silence. I never asked that of you. I only ask that you come, just as you are, and rest. There is no shame in needing rest. No failure in feeling weak. In fact, it is often in those exact moments, the ones where you feel undone, that my power shines the brightest. My strength is made perfect in your weakness, not in your performance. You don't need to prove anything to me. You only need to be with me. Bring me your worries, even the ones you think are too small to mention. Bring me your pain, even the kind you can't put into words. Bring me your questions, your fears, your regrets, your longing for something more. I am not overwhelmed by your mess. I am not disappointed by your process. I see you fully, and I love you entirely. You've been trying so hard to be strong for everyone else. But here, with me, you can exhale. You can let the tears fall. You can admit that you're tired, and I will not walk away. I will hold you. I will heal you. I will fill you with strength that doesn't come from striving, but from surrender. There is a gentle rhythm to walking with me, one that doesn't push or pressure, but invites and restores. You weren't meant to sprint through life gasping for breath. You were meant to walk beside me, at a pace that nourishes your soul. And I want to remind you of this, not everything depends on you. I am God, faithful, unchanging, sovereign. I have not brought you this far just to let you collapse. I am building something lasting in your life, and I will sustain what I have begun. So loosen your grip on the things you were never meant to control. Lay them at my feet. Trust that I am working, even in the silence. Trust that I am providing, even when you don't see it yet. And trust that I am holding you, even when you feel like falling. You don't have to carry it all. That's what I'm here for. Let me be your strength today, and every day. For I am not just with you, I am for you. My beloved child. So often, you look for me in the breakthrough, in the healing, in the answer, in the moment when everything finally makes sense. And yes, I am there. I delight in blessing you, in turning mourning into dancing, in bringing beauty from ashes. But today I want you to know, I am not only the God of the miracle, I am the God of the middle. I am with you before the prayer is answered. I walk beside you before the doors open. I hold your hand in the silent space between the promise and the fulfillment, and that space, though quiet, is holy. You see, the middle is where character is built. The middle is where trust is deepened. The middle is where roots grow strong beneath the surface, hidden from the eyes of others but known to me. It is in the middle that your faith becomes more than words, it becomes your anchor. I know it's not easy. Waiting can feel like wandering. Silence can feel like distance. But I assure you, child, I am not far. I am not passive. I am not withholding out of cruelty. What I'm doing in this season may not be visible yet, but it is vital. You are being formed. Strengthened. Refined. And when the moment of breakthrough comes, you will be ready, not only to receive the blessing, but to carry it with grace. Do not despise the middle. Do not rush through it. Do not curse the process that is shaping you into a vessel I can fill with glory. Instead, lean in. Let me show you that I am just as present in the quiet as I am in the thunder. Let me whisper truth in the stillness that crowds and applause could never teach. Others may not see what you're going through, but I do. Others may not understand why things are taking so long, but I know. My timing is never random, it is precise. There are things being aligned on your behalf that you cannot yet see. Trust me with what's unfolding. Trust me in the delay. Trust me in the days when nothing seems to move. The middle doesn't mean you're forgotten. It means you're in the making. And what I make is never rushed, never wasted, and never without purpose. So, rest. Not in inactivity, but in assurance. Keep doing the small things with faith. Keep showing up with hope. Keep choosing love, even when it's hard. Because those moments matter more than you realize. And remember this. When you finally step into the miracle, it won't be the finish line, it will be the continuation of what I've been building in you all along. So don't fear the in-between. I am the God of it all, the beginning, the end, and especially, the middle. My child. If only you could see what I see when I look at you. Not the failures you replay. Not the moments you wish you could erase. I see beauty rising from brokenness. I see potential untouched by the past. I see someone who is not finished, not forgotten, but being renewed. You don't have to carry shame anymore. You don't have to let yesterday's mistakes determine who you are today. I am not holding your past against you. I am offering you something new, a clean slate, a fresh start, a beginning filled with grace. You've been hard on yourself. You've judged your journey by what didn't work, what fell apart, or what you thought should have happened by now. But my child, I do not build on perfection, I build on surrender. I do not require a flawless past, only a willing heart. You can begin again, right here, right now. I know what you've lost. I know what you regret. I know the dreams that feel distant and the hopes you buried because disappointment became too heavy. And yet I'm still calling you forward. Not because of what you've done, but because of who I am. I specialize in resurrection. I bring life where there has been dryness. I breathe hope into what feels dead. I restore what was broken and redeem what was wasted. What you thought was over, I can still use. What you thought disqualified you, I can transform. Let me write the next chapter. Stop rereading the one that brought you pain. Stop letting your identity be shaped by your lowest moments. I see you through the lens of my mercy, and I want you to see yourself through it too. When I forgive, I do so fully. I don't bring up what I've already washed away. I don't tally your wrongs or replay your failures. I invite you into freedom. Not the kind the world offers, but the kind that sets your soul truly free, free to love again, trust again, believe again. Today, lay down your guilt. Not because you've earned release, but because I've already paid the price for your peace. Come boldly to me, not because you're perfect, but because you are mine. Don't be afraid to start over. Don't let fear of failure paralyze the dreams I've placed in your heart. Each day is a new invitation. Each sunrise whispers my faithfulness. Each breath is proof that there is more in store. You're not too late. You're not too broken. You're not too far gone. You are redeemable. You are usable. You are deeply, irrevocably loved. So come, beloved, let's begin again, together. My child. You've carried so much, for so long. You've tried to stay strong for everyone around you, holding it together when your own heart felt like it was unraveling. You've smiled when tears pressed behind your eyes. You've spoken hope while secretly questioning your own. You've done well to endure. But you don't have to be strong all the time. Come closer, and let me hold you. There is no shame in your weariness. It does not mean your faith is failing. It does not mean you're not enough. It simply means you're human, and you were never meant to carry life's weight alone. I designed you for dependency, not on the world, not on people, but on me. You are not weak because you need rest. You are wise. You are not broken because you feel deeply, you are alive. Your tender heart, though tired, is beautiful to me. I don't need your strength to love you. I never have. What I desire is your honesty. Your willingness to collapse into my arms without pretending. Your courage to admit that you're tired, lost, confused, or scared, and trust that I won't reject you because of it. I won't. In fact, I draw nearer when you let the mask fall. When you whisper, "I can't do this anymore," I'm already at your side, whispering back, "You don't have to." I'm here. My strength is not reserved for the ones who seem to have it all together. My strength is for the ones who let go. I'm not looking for your perfection. I'm looking for your surrender. Lay your burdens down. Release the pressure to have it all figured out. Stop running on empty just to keep up appearances. Come rest in me, and not just for a moment, but fully. Let me carry what's been crushing your soul. Let me restore what's been depleted inside of you. I see the questions you've been afraid to ask. I see the fear behind your drive to perform. I see the grief you carry silently, the losses others didn't notice, the longings no one has understood. And I say to you, I understand. I am with you. And I want to heal you in the places no one else can reach. This isn't weakness. This is the beginning of renewal. Let me be your strength when yours runs dry. Let my peace wrap around you like a blanket in a storm. Let my spirit breathe life back into the corners of your soul that you thought would never feel joy again. You don't have to try so hard anymore. You don't have to strive for what I'm offering freely. I'm not waiting for you to impress me. I'm waiting for you to trust me. Come, just as you are. Lay it all down. And let me do what I've longed to do from the beginning, carry you. My child. There are seasons when you feel my presence so strongly, it brings you to tears. In those moments, you are certain I am near. But then there are other times, the quiet, heavy days, when you feel nothing at all. No sign. No word. No warmth. And your heart wonders, where are you, God? Hear me clearly, I have not left you. I am still working, even in the silence. I am still speaking, even when your ears cannot perceive it. I am still moving, even when everything around you appears still. Just because your emotions are quiet does not mean I am absent. I am deeper than feelings. I am more faithful than moods. My presence is not a fleeting sensation, it is an eternal truth. You may not feel me right now, but I am as close as ever, closer than your breath, closer than your thoughts, closer than the ache in your chest. There is a sacred strength being formed in this silence. A trust that is not based on what you sense, but on who you know I am. This kind of trust goes beyond goosebumps and worship music. It is the trust that says, even if I feel nothing, I will believe that you are still good. And that trust? It moves heaven. You are growing right now, though you cannot see it. Roots grow deep before fruit appears. The tree doesn't panic in winter, it knows spring will come. And so must you. Do not let this season make you question everything. Not every silence is punishment. Sometimes, it's preparation. I may be answering your prayer, but not in the way you expected. You may have asked for breakthrough, I am building endurance. You may have asked for a miracle, I am refining your vision. You may have asked for relief, I am strengthening your spirit. You want the finish line, but I am walking with you through the race. You crave resolution, but I am offering revelation. I don't just want to fix your problems, I want to transform your heart. You will feel again. You will hear me again. The fog will lift. The light will return. But until then, walk by faith. Let your worship be louder than your doubt. Let your obedience be stronger than your questions. Trust that even when you feel nothing, you are not alone. I'm not waiting on the other side of your pain, I'm in it with you. I'm not just the God of the mountaintop, I am the God of the valley. And I never waste a single step of the journey. So breathe. Rest. Be still. You are not forgotten. You are not doing this wrong. You are simply being drawn deeper. And deeper is where your roots will find unshakable peace. My beloved. There's something I want to settle deep in your heart today, something that will lift 1,000 burdens off your shoulders. I am not asking you to be perfect. I never have. What I long for is not flawless behavior or performance without error. I long for proximity, for your heart to be near mine. You've spent too long trying to get it all right before coming to me. You've tried to clean yourself up, think better thoughts, be more disciplined, be more faithful, all just to feel worthy of being with me. But child, you were never meant to earn your way into my presence. I don't measure your worth by your success or your spiritual strength. I see your desire to please me, and I treasure it, but I want to release you from the pressure to perform. What I desire is intimacy, not image. I want your honesty more than your polish. I want your heart more than your habits. Come close to me, even if you feel messy. Come when you've stumbled. Come when your thoughts are chaotic. Come when your faith is flickering like a weak candle in the wind. I am not repelled by your brokenness. I am drawn to it, because it is in your weakness that my grace shines brightest. You think I only want you when you're at your best. But I died for you at your worst. I chose you before you chose me. And nothing you do can increase or decrease the love I already have for you. You are already fully known, and yet still fully loved. When you walk with me, I will shape your heart. I will correct and guide and teach you, yes, but not through fear or shame. I am a gentle shepherd. I lead with kindness, not cruelty. My conviction brings life, not condemnation. I correct because I love, and I discipline because I delight in you. There is no fear in love. So stop hiding. Stop waiting to fix yourself before coming closer. You can't fix yourself, but I can, and I will, if you let me. Let's walk together. Let me be your companion in your process, not just your destination after you get it together. I delight in the journey, in every step we take side by side. And when you fall, I will lift you. When you wander, I will seek you. When you are unsure, I will guide you back. So release the perfectionism. It was never yours to carry. Let it fall away, like chains loosened from your soul. Draw near to me, that's all I ask. Just come. As you are. Right now. My love will do the rest. My precious child. I know how often you've looked back over your life and whispered, what if? What if I had made a different choice? What if I hadn't wasted those years? What if I had trusted you sooner? The weight of regret can be a cruel companion, one that distorts your memories and dims your hope. But today, I want you to hear me clearly. Nothing is wasted in my hands. Even the seasons you thought were fruitless. Even the time you believe you lost. Even the days you walked away from me. I am the God who redeems not only lives, but time itself. I specialize in restoration. What seems lost to you is not lost to me. I know how to bring beauty out of barrenness, wisdom out of failure, and purpose out of pain. Do not believe the lie that it's too late for you. Do not listen to the voice that says you've missed your chance, that others have gone ahead while you're stuck behind. Time is not your master, I am. And I do not rush. I restore. You see missed opportunities. I see divine preparation. You see delay. I see foundation. You see failure. I see a platform for grace to shine even brighter. Yes, there were paths you could have taken. But the one you're on now is not beyond my ability to bless. Nothing is beyond redemption. Nothing is too tangled for me to unravel. I am not limited by your past. I am writing your story, not just with ink, but with resurrection power. I will give you back what was stolen. I will multiply what was lost. I will pour new wine into vessels that once sat empty. But first, I need you to release the shame. Release the timelines. Release the should-have-beens. They are not serving you, they are stalling you. The time you've spent growing, healing, surrendering, it's not wasted. It's been sacred. I've used every quiet moment, every unseen tear, every private battle to shape you. And now, as your heart turns back toward me with openness, I will breathe new life into what you thought was over. You don't have to make up for lost time. You just need to be present with me now. And in your now, I will do more than you could imagine. I restore years. I resurrect dreams. I rebuild broken places with stronger stones. And if you'll trust me with what remains, I will bless it beyond what was lost. I will do a new thing, not by your effort, but by my spirit. So lift your eyes. Your story is not behind you, it's ahead of you. And every moment surrendered to me is filled with purpose, promise, and power. My child. There will be days when the path ahead seems blurry, when your heart longs for direction but your spirit feels surrounded by fog. You'll pray for clarity, yet no immediate answer comes. You'll search for signs, only to be met with silence. And in those moments, the temptation to panic will whisper, "What if I've missed it?" But I tell you this, you have not missed my will. You are not lost. You are not forgotten. Just because you don't see the full map doesn't mean I'm not guiding your every step. I rarely show the whole picture at once, not to frustrate you, but to protect you. If you saw everything I had planned, it would overwhelm you. So I lead you one moment at a time. One gentle nudge. One quiet prompting. One act of trust. And that's enough. You've asked me, God, what do you want me to do? And while I do have specific assignments and divine appointments, what I want most, is you. I want your heart more than your hustle. I want your presence more than your productivity. I want to walk with you, not just watch you work for me from a distance. When the way feels unclear, pause. Don't rush into decisions just to escape the discomfort of waiting. Still your heart and ask me to steady your steps. I promise I will not leave you to wander. My word is a lamp to your feet, not a spotlight that exposes everything at once, but a lamp that gives just enough for today. And today is where I meet you. You don't need to have it all figured out. Obedience doesn't require a blueprint, just trust. You may think, but what if I make the wrong choice? Child, if your heart is turned toward me, I will redirect you. I know how to close doors, shift circumstances, and speak through peace or unrest. I know how to lead you, gently, lovingly, patiently. Let go of the fear of missing out. Let go of the pressure to know everything now. I do not expect you to be omniscient, that's my job. I simply ask that you remain close. Trust grows deepest in uncertainty. Faith becomes real when answers don't come immediately. And intimacy with me is born not from constant revelation, but from quiet dependence. You are not navigating life alone. I am with you in the decision-making. I am beside you in the silence. I am guiding you through what feels confusing and unknown. And even when your feet feel unsure, my hand is steady. Keep moving forward in faith. Keep showing up in love. Keep returning to me in the small moments. You are being led, even now. My beloved. I know how long you've waited. For change. For healing. For clarity. For the fulfillment of promises that once stirred your soul with excitement, but now feel distant, like echoes fading into silence. I see the calendar pages turn. I see how hope sometimes wanes with time. And yet, I want you to know, the waiting is not wasted. Even here, even now, I am blessing you. You may not see it yet, but there are gifts being placed into your life right in the middle of this delay. The waiting season is not a punishment, it is preparation. You're not being held back. You're being held together. And while you long for the destination, I am focused on the journey that's shaping you for what's coming. You've asked me, why the wait? And while I know you seek answers, what I truly long to give you is perspective. There are things I'm building in you right now that will be essential for the promise ahead: endurance, discernment, compassion, faith that doesn't crumble in the face of uncertainty. Sometimes the blessing is not in the breakthrough, it's in the becoming. You are becoming more tender, more trusting, more anchored in me. You're learning to hear my whisper over the noise of the world. You're learning that my timing is never late, even when it's not what you expected. And you're learning that peace doesn't come from having everything you want, but from knowing you have me. I know it's hard. I know it can feel like others are moving ahead while you're still standing still. But you must remember, I am not measuring your life by speed. I'm measuring it by depth. And what I'm building in your waiting will carry you far longer than what you would have gained by rushing. So today, stop asking how much longer, and start asking what I want to show you here. There is revelation in the pause. There is intimacy available only in stillness. And there are treasures hidden in this season that will strengthen your soul for years to come. You are not forgotten in the waiting. You are being fashioned in the waiting. I am aligning people, places, and purposes in perfect timing. I am removing what would harm you and preparing what will bless you. The path may seem quiet now, but heaven is busy on your behalf. So rest, child. Trust me. Let the waiting draw you deeper into my heart. Let it refine your vision, not cloud it. Let it produce hope, not weariness. And when the day comes, and it will come, when what you've waited for begins to unfold, you will understand why it took time. And you will say, it was worth the wait. My child. You've been praying with hope, whispering my name in quiet moments, sometimes with bold faith, other times with trembling doubt. I've heard every word. I've seen every sigh. Not a single prayer has gone unnoticed. But today, I want you to know, I am preparing more than what you asked for. What you see is the surface, the request. But I see the deeper need. You asked for provision, and I'm preparing abundance. You asked for healing, and I'm restoring joy. You asked for answers, and I'm building wisdom that will guide you far beyond this moment. What you thought was the finish line was just the beginning of something greater. I am not only answering your prayer, I am exceeding it. You may wonder why it's taking time. Why it feels like I'm silent or distant. But child, some blessings take time to build. Some promises require preparation, not because I am reluctant to give, but because I love you too much to give prematurely. Would you give a sharp sword to a child who hasn't yet learned how to hold it? No. And in the same way, I am forming your hands, your heart, your spirit, so that when the blessing arrives, you won't just receive it, you'll steward it well. Do not fear that I've forgotten. Do not believe the lie that I'm holding back. If I've delayed, it's only to deepen your capacity, to expand your heart so it can hold what I'm about to pour out. And what I'm pouring won't just be for you. It will spill into the lives of those around you. Your testimony will break chains in others. Your breakthrough will unlock someone else's belief. You are not being prepared for something small, you are being positioned to impact generations. That's why the process has been deep. That's why the refining has been intense. Because what I am building through you must endure. So, don't grow weary. The seeds you've sown in prayer are sprouting beneath the soil. And though you haven't seen the fruit yet, it's growing, stronger, healthier, richer than anything you imagined. I am not a God of barely enough. I am the God of overflow. Your prayer may have started this journey, but my love is what's carrying it forward. And when you step into the fulfillment, you'll realize, I didn't just give you what you wanted, I gave you more than you dared to believe for. So keep asking, keep trusting, keep preparing room in your heart. Because what I'm sending won't just fill your life, it will overflow into others. Yes, child. I'm preparing more than you prayed for. My beloved child. You were never meant to walk this journey alone. From the very beginning, my heart has always longed for closeness with you. I formed you not merely to function, but to fellowship. You were created not just to exist, but to belong, to me, to my presence, to my voice, to my embrace. But I know how easily isolation creeps in. It begins quietly, a few disappointments, a few unanswered prayers, a few moments where others let you down, and suddenly, you start to believe the lie that you're on your own. You may even convince yourself that I am far away. But child, I've never left you, not for a second. I see when you feel overlooked. I see when your heart withdraws because it's afraid of being misunderstood again. I see how you've learned to protect yourself, not because you want to shut others out, but because your soul longs to be safe. And that longing? I understand it deeply. Because I placed it in you. I placed in your heart the ache for connection, not only with others, but with me. And no human relationship, no success, no amount of recognition will ever satisfy what only my love can fill. I'm not intimidated by your wounds. I'm not shocked by your doubts. I'm not impatient with your process. I welcome you exactly as you are, raw, real, unsure, even reluctant. Because I know that intimacy is not built in perfection, but in presence. And I am fully present, waiting patiently, joyfully, lovingly, for you. Come to me, not because you feel worthy, but because I've already made you worthy. Come not because you have something to offer, but because I long to give you everything. I am not looking for performance. I'm looking for permission, to enter your fears, your silence, your confusion, and speak truth into them. You don't have to hide behind spiritual effort. You don't have to mask your emotions to make your prayers sound better. Just talk to me. Breathe with me. Sit in my presence without needing to say a word. I am not waiting for a perfect version of you. I'm simply waiting for you. Let me remind you, you are not forgotten. You are not invisible. And you are not hard to love. You are seen. You are pursued. You are cherished. You are my beloved. So draw near, not just today, but every day. Make intimacy with me your foundation, your anchor, your safe place. And as you do, you'll find that loneliness begins to lose its power, because you'll realize, you've never really been alone. My beloved. I see how carefully you've guarded your heart. I see the silent vows you've made. I won't expect too much next time, I'll stay realistic, hope only leads to disappointment. I know where those thoughts come from. They weren't born out of rebellion, but out of heartbreak. Out of the times when hope felt like a door slammed shut. When waiting turned into weariness. When prayers seemed unanswered. But I want to tell you something today, it is safe to hope again. Hope is not foolish. Hope is not fragile. Hope, when placed in me, is anchored in eternity. You are not hoping in thin air or wishful thinking. You are hoping in the one who cannot lie, cannot fail, and cannot abandon you. I know what it feels like to have expectations crushed. I know the ache of delay. I know how bitter it can feel to dream, only to watch those dreams dissolve. But child, hope that is born in me is never wasted. Even when it feels buried, it is growing. Even when it feels still, it is alive. I want to renew your hope, not based on outcomes, but based on my nature. I want you to trust not just what I do, but who I am. I am faithful. I am good. I am present. And I'm not just restoring your future, I'm healing your relationship with hope itself. Let go of the fear that says, if I get my hopes up, I'll only be disappointed. That's a lie planted by the enemy to keep you from joy. The truth is, the more you hope in me, the more your heart will be strengthened. Not because everything will happen exactly as you imagine, but because no matter what happens, I will be enough. Hope is not about predicting outcomes, it's about knowing that you are held, no matter what unfolds. It's about waking up each day with the quiet assurance that you are not alone, that something good is coming, and that I am working even in the silence. So dream again. Pray boldly again. Expect again. Not because you're trying to force results, but because your soul was made to believe for more. You are not naive to hope. You are courageous. And I promise, I will honor the hope you place in me. It may not unfold the way you expect, but it will always lead to my goodness, my presence, and my perfect plan. I am not teasing your heart with promises I won't fulfill. I am teaching your heart to trust me in the process. You are safe here. Safe to trust. Safe to believe. Safe to hope. My child. There are days when it feels like what you're doing doesn't make a difference. You show up, you choose me in small moments, you pray quietly, you love those who barely notice, and yet, you wonder, does any of this matter? Let me assure you, it matters more than you can imagine. Obedience is not measured by applause. It's measured by faith. And every single time you choose to follow me, even when it's hard, even when no one sees, heaven moves. The world may not reward quiet obedience, but I do. I see every decision made in love, every time you forgave, every time you chose kindness instead of anger, humility instead of pride, stillness instead of control. Obedience isn't just about the big moments, it's about your daily surrender. And the truth is, those small, hidden choices are shaping eternity more than you know. Sometimes you'll see the fruit quickly, restoration, answers, breakthrough. But other times, the seeds you plant today won't bloom for months, even years. Still, I ask you to trust me. Because the harvest is coming. Obedience isn't about understanding every detail, it's about trusting the one who sees the full picture. You may not understand why I asked you to walk away from something that looked good. You may not see the purpose in the path I led you down. But obedience means you trust my heart even when you don't see my hand. And I know, it's not always easy. Sometimes obedience costs you relationships, comfort, or security. But I promise, it never costs you my presence. In fact, the more you walk with me, the closer you'll feel me. I am not asking you to obey out of fear. I'm inviting you to walk in freedom, because obedience to me leads to life, peace, and joy that the world cannot take. You don't have to be perfect in your obedience. I know you stumble. I know you hesitate. But every time you say, "Yes, Lord," even in a whisper, I honor it. And I use it. Your yes carries weight. Your obedience echoes into eternity. So keep going. Keep showing up. Keep choosing me. Even if no one claps. Even if nothing changes overnight. Even if it's lonely. Because your obedience is oil in your lamp. It's what keeps your light burning in the night. And when the time comes, and I open the next door, you'll be ready, not because you pushed your way there, but because you were faithful in the quiet. I don't need you to do everything. I just need you to do the next right thing, with me, in love, in trust. And I'll take care of the rest. My dear child. I've watched you carry pain that others never saw. You've walked through seasons that left deep marks, not just on your heart, but on your very identity. You've wondered if the tears, the loss, the breaking had any purpose at all. You've even asked quietly in your soul, "Lord, what was the point of all of this?" Let me answer you clearly and tenderly, I will never waste your pain. I don't delight in your suffering, but I do redeem it. I don't cause the storms, but I do walk with you through them, and I bring beauty from the wreckage. What the enemy meant to destroy you, I will use to strengthen you. What was meant to silence you, I will turn into a song of freedom. Every scar on your soul tells a story, not of defeat, but of survival. Of grace. Of my presence in the fire. Of how you kept going when giving up would have been easier. And that story matters. It matters to me. It will matter to others. You may feel like some of your greatest pains were pointless, but I promise you, I am weaving them into something meaningful. You didn't cry in vain. You didn't break in vain. I was there, catching every tear, holding every shattered piece, breathing life into the ashes. Pain changes people. But when you walk through it with me, it doesn't make you bitter, it makes you beautifully broken. Soft where the world would make you hard. Compassionate where others grew cold. A vessel through which my healing can flow. Don't hide your pain as though it's something shameful. Let me redeem it. Let me shine through it. Let me take what was once unbearable and use it to bear fruit, fruit that brings hope to others, fruit that lasts. I am the God of resurrection. I don't just make things new, I make you new. Every sorrow, every disappointment, every unanswered prayer, I can use it. I can redeem it. And I will. You may never understand every reason on this side of eternity, but one day, you'll see the full tapestry. And it will be glorious. Not in spite of the pain, but because I rewrote the pain into something precious. So don't be afraid to feel. Don't be afraid to bring your wounds to me. I am not a distant God, uncomfortable with your grief. I am the God who weeps with you, and then restores you. And yes, I will restore you. Not just back to who you were before the pain, but into someone deeper, wiser, softer, stronger. Someone who knows me more intimately. Someone who shines with my glory, because they have walked with me through the darkest valleys and come out still standing. This is not the end. This is part of the becoming. My beloved. I see the battles you're facing, the ones that rage in your mind, the ones that press against your heart, the ones that no one else knows about. You fought quietly, faithfully, courageously. But I know there are moments when your soul whispers, I'm tired. I don't know how much longer I can keep going. Let me speak truth into that place of weariness, you are not fighting alone. I am with you in the valley. I am with you in the fire. I am with you in the tension between your faith and your fear. And not just watching from a distance, I am beside you, within you, surrounding you. You were never asked to be strong enough for this on your own. That was never my design. You were created to walk with me, not to battle without me. And every weapon formed against you, it will not prosper. Because I have already claimed victory over every force that rises to defeat you. There's a reason the enemy fights you so fiercely, he knows what's in you. He knows the call on your life. He knows the influence of your obedience. And so he sends discouragement, distraction, doubt. But child, greater is the one who lives in you than anything that stands against you. Even when you feel like you're losing ground, I am holding your ground for you. Even when your prayers feel weak, I am responding with power. Even when you have no words left, your tears still reach my throne. Your battle is not a sign of failure, it is a sign of growth. You are advancing. You are breaking through. You are stepping into a new level of trust, a deeper well of faith, a bolder kind of love. But remember this, you don't win by striving. You win by standing, in my word, in my promises, in my love. Let me fight for you. Your job is not to conquer everything. Your job is to remain close to me. To trust that I'm moving, even when you don't see the evidence yet. Put on the armor I've given you, truth, righteousness, peace, faith, salvation, my word. Not because you're trying to impress me, but because you need to protect what I've already given you. And when you feel too weak to lift even that, I will be your armor. I will cover you. Some battles end quickly. Others take time. But none are wasted. Every fight endured with me sharpens your spirit, enlarges your capacity, and makes you more like me. So breathe. You are not failing. You are standing. And I am fighting with you, for you, and through you. Victory is not a distant hope, it's a present reality, unfolding step by step. My child. You've been walking through a season that feels heavier than most. You've tried to stay strong, to hold on to faith, to believe that things will shift, but sometimes it feels like the weight keeps increasing. You've asked yourself, where is God in all of this? And though you haven't dared to say it out loud, you've felt it, that whisper of doubt, that ache in your chest, am I truly seen? Am I truly known? Let me answer you clearly, deeply, and without hesitation, yes. I see you. I know you. I feel every part of what you're carrying. And I am not distant. I have walked with you through every sleepless night. I have been there in every silent cry. When you couldn't put your pain into words, I understood the language of your heart. When no one else could sense your struggle, I held you tighter. There is nothing you are facing that I am not already inside of with you. You don't need to be ashamed of your weariness. You don't need to hide your frustration or pretend to have perfect peace. I am not looking for spiritual performance. I'm looking for intimacy. And intimacy requires honesty. Bring me your anger. Bring me your confusion. Bring me your silence. I can handle it all. I know how this season has tried to shape your perspective, how the waiting, the struggle, the unanswered prayers have tried to convince you that maybe I've grown silent. But child, silence does not mean absence. Sometimes, the silence is where I'm doing my deepest work. Like seeds beneath the soil, growth happens before it's visible. I'm not angry with your doubts. I'm not disappointed by your questions. I welcome them. They are part of our relationship. Faith isn't the absence of struggle, faith is choosing me in the midst of it. And you've done that. You've shown up. You've kept praying. You've kept believing, even when it hurt. That means more to me than you know. I haven't just heard your prayers, I've held them. I've carried them close. And I'm answering them in ways that protect you, grow you, and ultimately reveal my goodness more clearly than the shortcut you hoped for. You're not forgotten. You're not overlooked. And you're not walking through this alone. I am in the fire with you. I am in the tension. I am in the waiting. And I am weaving every thread of this story into something redemptive. So lean into me, not away. Let your heart breathe in my presence. Let my nearness quiet your panic. Let my peace steady your pace. You are not invisible. You are intimately known. And you are infinitely loved. My beloved. There is a story you've been telling yourself. One that has quietly shaped how you see your worth, your future, and even me. It's a story formed by past disappointments, broken trust, unhealed wounds, and quiet regrets. A story that says, maybe I'm too late. Maybe I'm not enough. Maybe this is all there is. But child, I want you to know, that is not your true story. Let me rewrite it. Let me take the narrative the world gave you, the one marked by fear, failure, and shame, and replace it with truth. The truth that you are chosen, loved, and called. That your life is not defined by what has happened to you, but by what I've placed within you. You are not the sum of your mistakes. You are not the product of your pain. You are not limited to your past or what others failed to see in you. You are my masterpiece in progress. You are a vessel of my glory, shaped not by the scars you carry, but by the grace I've poured into every broken place. I know the labels you've worn. Too broken. Too much. Too late. Not enough. But I never gave you those names. And today, I ask you to lay them down. Because I call you redeemed. I call you whole. I call you mine. Let me show you how I see you. You are the one I died to rescue. The one I knit together with purpose and intention. The one I have plans for, good plans, filled with hope and a future. I see the gold beneath the dust. I see the strength behind the silence. I see the worship rising from your wilderness. You don't have to live inside the limitations of old narratives. You don't have to keep rehearsing stories that bring shame instead of freedom. Let me be the author now. Hand me the pen. Let me rewrite chapters that were filled with sorrow into testimonies of redemption. And no, it's not too late. Not for joy. Not for restoration. Not for miracles. Not for purpose. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not too damaged to be used. In fact, your very wounds will become windows through which others will see my light. Your healing will become someone else's hope. Your restoration will unlock freedom in those who are still hiding in fear. So silence the voice of accusation. Turn down the volume of lies. Lean into my voice, the one that speaks love even in your lowest moments. The one that reminds you who you truly are. I am not done writing your story. And when I write it, it ends in glory. My child. Let me quiet that fear within you, the one that makes you hesitate when you approach me, the one that whispers, "You've failed too many times. God must be tired of you." That voice is not mine. That voice does not speak from truth, it speaks from shame. And shame is never a tool I use. I am not angry with you. Even in your wandering, I have been watching over you. Even when you pulled away, my love never did. You may think your inconsistency disqualifies you, that your struggles disappoint me, but hear this clearly, I am not surprised by your humanity. I made you. I know your frame. I understand your battles. And I still choose you. When you feel ashamed, you often withdraw. You hide like Adam and Eve in the garden, covering yourself in silence and self-judgment. But child, I came to walk with you in the cool of the day, not to expose you in punishment, but to cover you in grace. I came to restore what shame tries to steal, intimacy. You don't have to fix yourself before you return. You don't have to make promises you can't keep. Just come. Bring your doubt, your frustration, your failure. I would rather have your messy honesty than your polished performance. What I desire most is you. My correction is not rejection. My conviction is not condemnation. I discipline because I love, not because I'm distant, but because I'm near. A father who cares, not a judge who's waiting to punish. My goal is never to push you away. It's always to draw you closer. And child, even now, I'm drawing you. I'm pulling on your heart, not with fear, but with kindness. My goodness is what leads to repentance, not guilt. My love transforms you more than any shame ever could. I will never manipulate you into holiness. I will invite you into wholeness. You are not disqualified. You are not too far gone. You are not a disappointment. You are loved, fiercely, consistently, eternally. I don't regret saving you. I don't regret calling you. And I never compare your journey to someone else's. You are unique. You are mine. So come out of hiding. Let me wash off the shame. Let me heal what religion or the world distorted. Let me remind you that your identity is not the one who failed, but the one I love. You can start again today. You can return without fear. You can rest in the truth that my arms are open wide. My beloved. I know that healing hasn't come as quickly as you hoped. You've prayed, believed, waited, and still, there are wounds that sting, memories that echo, and moments when you wonder, shouldn't I be further along by now? But let me assure you, healing is not a race. It's a holy, sacred, intimate process, and I am in it with you. You are not behind. You are not failing. You are healing. Sometimes healing looks like strength. Other times it looks like sitting still with tears in your eyes and barely enough faith to whisper my name. Both are valid. Both are beautiful. And both are held in my hands. I see how you carry your pain quietly. You encourage others while carrying your own weight. You smile even when your soul feels tired. You've learned to move forward even when parts of you feel stuck in yesterday. And I want you to know, I honor that quiet courage. You don't need to hide your struggle from me. I'm not ashamed of your tears. I'm not overwhelmed by your emotions. I'm not disappointed that you're still grieving things others have already forgotten. I care about every part of your journey, including the places that still ache. And while the world may push you to move on, to be strong, to get over it, I will never rush your healing. I am not impatient with you. I will never tell you to pretend. I will never ask you to bury what you haven't yet processed. I want to walk with you through the slow, gentle, transformative work of restoration. Your healing matters to me, not just because of what you'll do once you're whole, but because you matter to me. The process matters, not just the result. I'm not waiting for a stronger version of you to show up. I am loving you right now, in your in-between space, in your fragile and beautiful becoming. Let me hold your heart. Let me comfort the parts you still keep hidden. Let me speak truth where lies once took root. Let me apply my peace where anxiety has dwelled too long. You are not a burden. You are not broken beyond repair. You are not taking too long. You are becoming whole in the arms of the one who made you. Every step, every tear, every deep breath is evidence that healing is happening. You may not feel it yet, but one day, you'll look back and see how far you've come, not because you ran, but because you stayed close to me. Keep going. You are healing. And I'm holding you through it all. My child. There are moments when the path in front of you disappears into fog. When all your efforts seem to fall short, when every option feels like a closed door, and your heart begins to whisper, there's no way out of this. But I want you to pause right here and hear me clearly, I am the way. Not just a way forward, the way. The one who carves paths through oceans, who leads through wildernesses, who opens doors no one can shut and shuts doors no one can force open. I don't need favorable conditions to move. I create possibilities where none existed. I am not limited by what limits you. When your resources run dry, when your strength is gone, when your plans fall apart, that's often where my greatest work begins. Because it's in those spaces of surrender that you finally let go of your own map, and take my hand instead. You've tried to reason your way through. You've explored every angle, sought advice, knocked on doors. You've even begun to wonder if perhaps you missed something, maybe a sign, a prompting, a divine instruction. But child, my will is not a riddle. It's a relationship. Come back to me, not just for direction, but for connection. It's not always about the next step. Sometimes it's about standing still and knowing that I am God. That I am still working. That I'm already ahead of you, preparing what you cannot yet perceive. You've asked me to show you the way. And I will. But first, I want to show you me. Because the deeper your trust in who I am, the less afraid you'll be when the path looks uncertain. Let me speak to that part of you that's panicking. That thinks it's too late, too complicated, too broken. I have not brought you this far to abandon you. I am not confused. I'm not scrambling for solutions. I am leading, intentionally, faithfully, quietly, but powerfully. Sometimes I part the sea. Sometimes I build the boat. Sometimes I teach you to walk on water. The method may change, but my nature never does. So don't despair when you can't see the full picture. Just take the next step of obedience. Trust the peace I give, even when it doesn't come with full explanation. Follow the light you have, even if it only illuminates this moment. That's all you need. Because I am already in your tomorrow. I've already made a way where there seemed to be none. You're not stuck. You're not lost. You're not forsaken. You are being led, by the hand of the one who never fails. My child. You've been holding so much inside, quietly, faithfully, sometimes tearfully. The things you can't explain. The questions you don't know how to ask. The emotions you're not even sure you're allowed to feel. You've carried them with grace, but I never asked you to carry them alone. Bring it all to me. Yes, all of it. Not just the polished prayers or the well-worded concerns. I want the raw ache. The honest fears. The confusing contradictions that live in your chest. The pain you thought was too small to matter, or too messy to be holy. I can handle it. I am not like those who asked you to be strong when you were breaking. I'm not like the voices that said, get over it, or push through. I am your safe place. Your shelter. Your refuge. And I am not intimidated by your depth, I welcome it. You don't have to pretend with me. You don't have to minimize what you're feeling to make it more spiritual. I already know it all, every emotion, every thought, every wound. And I want you to bring it to me anyway. Because when you do, something powerful happens, you stop carrying it alone. I am not distant from your struggle. I am not absent from your silence. I have been near all along, waiting, gently, patiently, for you to hand me what's been crushing you. Let me carry what you were never meant to hold. Let me speak peace over your racing thoughts. Let me hold your heart when it feels like no one else understands. Let me comfort you in the places you've locked away from everyone, even from yourself. There is no burden too heavy for me. No sorrow too deep. No anger too sharp. No disappointment too layered. I can handle your full truth, and I will meet it with full grace. You don't have to compartmentalize with me. You don't have to bring your best self, just your real self. That's the one I came to redeem. That's the one I love. That's the one I already died for. So come to me with the tears that haven't fallen yet. With the words you've never dared to speak. With the fear that wakes you at 2 a.m. and the ache you can't quite name. I won't rush you. I won't shame you. I will hold you. And I will begin to trade your heaviness for peace. Your exhaustion for rest. Your chaos for clarity. Your striving for stillness. Not because you figured it out, but because you finally let go. This is what it means to be loved by me. This is what it means to be known, and still wanted. My beloved. There are pages in your story that you wish didn't exist. Chapters filled with pain, regret, silence, confusion. Some you've tried to forget. Others you revisit often, wondering how things could have been different. You've questioned why I allowed certain events, why I didn't step in sooner, or why I didn't write a neater ending to those hard moments. But child, I want to remind you, I'm not finished yet. The story isn't over. The ink hasn't dried. And while some chapters brought tears, I am still writing beauty into the narrative of your life. Not by erasing what happened, but by redeeming it. You see brokenness, but I see opportunity for grace. You see a plot twist that caught you off guard, but I see how it leads to purpose. I know every line of your story, past, present, and future, and I hold the pen in hands that only write with love. Let me show you what I can do with what's been written. Let me breathe new life into pages that feel closed. Let me take your pain and turn it into wisdom. Let me take your waiting and turn it into strength. Let me take what others meant for harm and turn it into hope. You don't have to make sense of it all. You don't have to fix the mess. That's my specialty, creating beauty from ashes, singing over dry bones, speaking light into the darkest scenes. I know you wanted a simpler story. One with fewer setbacks, fewer losses, fewer unanswered questions. But what I'm doing in you is far deeper than simplicity. I'm writing something sacred. Something that will carry weight in eternity. Something that will testify not only of survival, but of transformation. Even now, I am working in the quiet. Restructuring. Rebuilding. Rewriting. Not to change the truth of what happened, but to reveal a greater truth, that I was with you through it all, and that nothing in your life is beyond redemption. You may not love every part of your story, but I do. Because I see how I've been present in every scene. I see how even in your lowest moments, your heart turned toward me. I see how the storyline bends not toward destruction, but toward grace. So don't close the book too soon. Don't label yourself by a chapter you're still walking through. I'm still writing. And what comes next is filled with more hope, more beauty, more purpose than you ever imagined. I'm not just restoring what was lost, I'm writing something even more meaningful in its place. You are living a story of grace. Let me finish it well. My precious child. There are things you've walked through that left you wondering if any good could come from them. Wounds that still ache. Seasons that felt dry and fruitless. Choices you wish you hadn't made. People you poured into who walked away. Prayers that seemed unanswered. And deep down, there's a quiet question lingering in your heart: was any of it worth it? Let me answer that right now: yes. Because nothing is wasted when it's placed in my hands. I specialize in taking what others overlook and turning it into something eternal. I take the unseen acts of faithfulness, the uncelebrated sacrifices, the small seeds you planted in tears, and I use them to shape destinies. I collect every tear, every whispered prayer, every gesture of kindness offered in secret. Not one moment has been lost to me. Even your pain, yes, even that, holds purpose when surrendered to me. I'm not the author of your suffering, but I am the redeemer of it. I can take what hurt you and bring healing through it, not just to you, but to others who walk through similar valleys. There's nothing too ordinary for me to use. Nothing too broken. Nothing too far gone. I used a shepherd boy to slay a giant. A barren woman to birth a prophet. Fisherman to change the world. I delight in doing extraordinary things through surrendered hearts, and yours is one of them. You may not see the harvest yet. The ground may feel dry, the results slow, the recognition absent. But trust me, the soil is sacred. And I am watering it with my word, with my presence, with my timing. What you planted in faith will bloom in fullness. I know it's tempting to look back and regret. To wish you had chosen differently, moved sooner, spoken louder, believed more. But child, I see you. I see your growth, your resilience, your yes, even when it came through tears. And I honor that. I will multiply that. Let go of the shame. Let go of the fear that you've wasted your life, your gifts, or your time. In me, nothing is wasted. I restore what was lost. I redeem what was broken. I breathe new life into what you thought had withered. What others forgot, I remember. What others dismissed, I hold close. What others called failure, I call foundation. So bring me every piece, the victories and the mess. Let me take them, shape them, and use them for glory. Because when you give me your whole story, I don't just edit the bad parts, I transform them into testimonies. And in my hands, your life becomes a miracle in motion. My child. I know the ache in your waiting. I see how you've prayed, planned, prepared, and still, the door hasn't opened. The answer hasn't come. The breakthrough hasn't arrived. And though you try to stay faithful, there's a whisper inside you wondering, why hasn't it happened yet? Let me reassure your heart with this truth: my timing is never off. I am not slow. I am not distracted. I am not withholding without reason. What you perceive as delay is actually divine protection, preparation, and alignment. I don't work within your schedule, I work beyond it, from eternity, where I see the whole picture at once. You see the moment. I see the movement. There are layers you cannot see, hearts being softened, doors being formed, timing being synchronized across people and places. You think you're waiting for me to act, but often I'm waiting for all the pieces to align in such a way that when it happens, it will not just bless you, it will bless generations. I know how long you've waited. I know how tired hope can feel. I see you scrolling past testimonies of others and wondering when yours will come. I hear the silent questions, the private tears, the thoughts you dare not voice aloud: maybe this just isn't for me. But child, my promises are not fragile. My word does not expire. I have not forgotten what I spoke over you. I am not ignoring your faith. I am, even now, preparing the fulfillment of what you've entrusted to me, and I will bring it to pass in the exact moment it will matter most. Trust is not just believing I can, it's believing I will, in my time. You don't have to understand the delay to be obedient in it. You don't have to enjoy the wait to find me in it. This season is not punishment, it's purpose. I'm doing more in the waiting than you can see. I'm refining your discernment, stretching your endurance, and deepening your capacity to carry what's coming. Because what's coming is not small. It's not quick and fleeting. It's something lasting, something holy, something worth every second of surrender. So stay close. Don't run ahead trying to make things happen on your own. Don't grow bitter by comparing timelines. Don't retreat into fear or frustration. Instead, rest. Breathe. Trust that I am working, always, faithfully, lovingly. When the time is right, I will make it happen. And when I do, you'll look back and see that the wait was never wasted, it was woven with wisdom. My beloved child. I see the effort it takes to keep choosing what is right. I see how often you choose honesty when compromise would be easier. How you extend grace when judgment would feel justified. How you keep walking in love when offense knocks at the door of your heart. You don't do it for applause. You don't do it for recognition. You do it because you want to honor me, and that, my child, means everything. You may not always see the results right away. The world might overlook your quiet obedience. But I never miss it. Every time you choose me, in word, in thought, in action, it echoes in eternity. I know it feels costly. Sometimes you feel like you're the only one fighting to keep your heart pure. You watch others take shortcuts, gain attention, achieve success without integrity, and you wonder, is this worth it? Let me be clear, yes. It's worth it. Every time you choose to forgive when it hurts, I'm shaping your heart to look more like mine. Every time you resist bitterness, I'm planting peace. Every time you choose humility over pride, you are making space for my favor to rest on you. The seeds you're sowing in faithfulness will yield a harvest in due time. You are not falling behind. You are building on rock, not sand. What you build with me, even if it starts small, will stand when the storms come. I know how hard it is to walk against the current. To stay kind when the world applauds cruelty. To remain faithful when betrayal stings. To stay generous when resources feel tight. But I promise, none of that is in vain. What the world calls weak, I call powerful. What the world overlooks, I bless. And what feels small to you carries eternal weight. Don't grow weary in doing good. Don't let the temporary applause of others distract you from the eternal reward I've prepared for you. Keep your eyes on me. Keep your hands steady. Keep your heart soft. You are making a difference, even when you can't see it. Your obedience is breaking generational cycles. Your compassion is melting hardened hearts. Your consistency is changing atmospheres. Every time you say yes to me, darkness loses ground. And remember, I'm not just watching from a distance. I'm empowering you from within. My spirit strengthens you when your flesh feels weak. My grace fills the gaps when your efforts fall short. You are not alone in your pursuit of righteousness, I am right here with you. So keep going. Keep choosing what's right, not for approval, not for reward, but because you belong to me. And I promise, I will honor every choice you make for me, both now, and forevermore. My beloved. You've tried so hard. I see how tightly you've been holding everything together, the relationships, the responsibilities, the outcomes you desperately hoped for. You've done your best to stay faithful, to believe, to press on. But deep down, you're weary. Your hands are tired from gripping so much that was never yours to carry alone. It's time to release it. Let me take it from here. You were never meant to control everything. Control is a weight that slowly crushes your joy, your peace, your freedom. It convinces you that you must fix, manage, predict, and protect every outcome. But I did not create you to live in fear or striving. I created you to trust. And trust begins where control ends. I know how scary it feels to loosen your grip. You've been hurt before. You've watched things fall apart. Surrender sounds like risk, and peace feels unfamiliar. But child, what you're holding onto so tightly may be the very thing keeping you from receiving what I've prepared for you. You see, I can do more with your surrender than you could ever do with your control. When you hand me your fear, I give you peace. When you release the outcome, I begin to move. When you stop striving, my grace begins to carry. You don't have to manipulate the moment. You don't have to orchestrate every detail. You don't have to figure it all out. That's my job. Let go of trying to change people, I am the one who transforms hearts. Let go of trying to make everything perfect, my strength is made perfect in your weakness. Let go of the timeline you thought life would follow, I operate on eternal timing, and I am never late. The letting go isn't a loss, it's the beginning of freedom. When you release, you're not giving up. You're handing over. You're saying, God, I trust you more than I trust my own plans. And that kind of surrender, it unlocks miracles. So today, open your hands. Name the things you've been gripping with white-knuckled fear, the job, the future, the person, the outcome, and place them into mine. Not in fear, but in faith. I will not drop what you give me. I will not mishandle your heart. I am trustworthy. I am faithful. I am good, even in the things you don't yet understand. And as you let go, you'll find that I've been holding you all along. My dear child. There are wounds you've carried for a long time. Some are visible to others, shaped by events, losses, disappointments. But others live quietly beneath the surface, buried deep in places words can't reach. They shaped how you see yourself. They shaped how you trust, how you love, how you pray. And some days, they still bleed, quietly, silently, painfully. But I want you to know this, I see your wounds, and I'm not afraid of them. I'm not surprised by your pain. I'm not offended by your broken places. I am not distant from the ache you feel, even when you try to smile through it. In fact, I draw closer. Because I came not for the healthy, but for the hurting. Not for the whole, but for the wounded. And you, beloved, are safe to unravel in my presence. You don't have to pretend here. You don't have to protect me from your sorrow. I am the man of sorrows, acquainted with grief. I know betrayal. I know abandonment. I know the sting of words, the silence of rejection, the weight of waiting. There is nothing you felt that I cannot understand. And yet, I don't just understand, I heal. I am gentle with pain. I do not rush the process. I do not shame the struggle. My touch is not harsh. My voice is not condemning. I will sit with you in the tension. I will walk with you through the questions. I will carry you when the weight is too heavy. And when the time is right, I will begin to breathe healing into every crack, every scar, every shattered place. You've told yourself, I should be past this by now. But I don't measure your progress by the speed of your steps. I look at your heart, and I see the courage it takes to keep showing up, to keep hoping, to keep trusting me, even with your limp. Let me into those places you've guarded for so long. The ones where you've said, I'm fine, just to survive. The places where you've built walls instead of altars. The places where pain became identity. Let me in. Because I don't just want to comfort you, I want to restore you. And no, this is not too messy. This is not too much. You are not too complicated. You are my beloved. And I have never once looked at your wounds and pulled away. I look at you and move closer. So breathe. Let go. Let the tears fall if they need to. Let my presence wrap around the ache. You don't have to carry this forever. I see your wounds. I sit beside them. And in time, I will heal them all. My beloved. You've been trying to be strong for so long. For your family. For your friends. For yourself. You've pushed forward, endured quietly, smiled when you felt like collapsing. You've whispered prayers with trembling lips and walked through days carrying more than anyone knew. And yet, even now, part of you still wonders, why can't I be stronger by now? But child, hear me clearly, your weakness is not a flaw. It is an invitation. You were never meant to carry the world on your shoulders. You were never created to have all the answers, to always get it right, to walk through fire and feel nothing. Weakness is not failure. It's not a sign of spiritual immaturity. It is the very place where my strength shines brightest. When you run out of your own power, that's when you discover mine. I'm not impressed by self-sufficiency. I'm not drawn to perfect resumes or flawless prayers. I am moved by surrender. By authenticity. By the kind of honesty that says, Lord, I can't do this without you. And that, my child, is where miracles begin. When you come to the end of yourself, I come in with more than enough. My grace is not just for salvation, it is for the everyday. For the messy, the fragile, the weary moments. For the decisions you don't know how to make, the emotions you struggle to explain, the disappointments you didn't see coming. Let me in, not once you feel better, but now. In your low energy. In your confusion. In your doubt. Let me meet you where your hands are empty and your heart is aching. Let me be your strength. You don't need to perform for me. You don't need to prove yourself. You don't need to get it together before I'll help. I already know your frame. I already know the burdens that brought you here. And I already love you fully. I don't despise your weakness. I dwell in it. Paul said, I will boast all the more gladly in my weakness, so that Christ's power may rest on me. That wasn't just poetic, it was a spiritual law. When you stop striving, my spirit can start working. When you stop pretending, my presence can begin healing. Your weakness does not disqualify you. It is a door, one that opens straight into my power. So today, stop trying to hold it all together. Fall into my arms. Cry if you need to. Breathe. Release the pressure. Let me carry what's too heavy. Let me be enough where you feel insufficient. Because I am not disappointed in you. I am delighted in you. Not because you're strong, but because you're mine. And my strength is made perfect, not in your perfection, but in your precious, surrendered weakness. My precious child. I saw the moment your dream unraveled. When what you built with hope and prayer came crashing down. When the thing you believed in, planned for, even fought for, slipped through your hands. You tried to hold it together, but it crumbled. And now, you're left wondering, was it all for nothing? No, beloved. It was not for nothing. I know how deeply you hoped. How much of your heart you poured in. And I do not dismiss your disappointment. I sit with you in it. I grieve with you over what was lost. I gather every tear. But I also want you to know this, I am not finished. I'm building something greater. You see the ending. I see the beginning. You see brokenness. I see the foundation. When dreams fall apart, it doesn't mean you failed. Sometimes, it means I'm removing what would have limited you. Sometimes, I allow certain things to collapse not to harm you, but to clear the way for something deeper, richer, more eternal. I know that letting go is painful. But you're not letting go into emptiness, you're releasing it into my hands. And what I hold, I redeem. I am not just the God who gives dreams, I am the God who resurrects them. I can take the fragments of what was and breathe new life into what will be. The dream may look different, but it will not be lesser. It will be more aligned with who you're becoming in me. You're not starting from scratch. You're starting from grace. You have grown. Your faith has been tested. Your trust has been deepened. And all of that will become the soil from which new dreams rise, dreams not built on fear, or control, or pressure, but on purpose, peace, and presence. Don't be afraid to hope again. I know you're hesitant. I know you're protecting your heart. But when the time is right, I will breathe vision into you once more. Not to replace the dream, but to restore the dreamer. Even now, I'm rebuilding. Quietly. Patiently. Tenderly. Behind the scenes, I'm aligning hearts, opening doors, and preparing the next season. And it will be beautiful. Not because everything will go perfectly, but because I will be in it with you. So take your time. Heal. Grieve. Rest. But don't lose sight of this truth: the end of your dream was not the end of my plan. I still have more for you, more than you asked for, more than you imagined, and more than you thought was possible after loss. I'm not just writing a new chapter. I'm writing a better story. And I'm doing it with you. My beloved. I see how often you look around and feel like you're behind. Like everyone else is advancing, building, achieving, arriving, while you're still trying to figure out the next step. You wonder if you missed something. If you were too slow. If somehow you've been left out of the plan. But hear me clearly today: you're not falling behind. You are exactly where I have you. No step has been wasted. No detour has surprised me. No delay has altered what I've destined for you. I don't measure your life by human timelines or worldly achievements. I measure it by faithfulness, and you've been more faithful than you realize. You see people announcing milestones and victories. You see highlight reels. But I see what's done in secret. I see the days you chose faith over fear. The mornings you got up when you didn't feel strong. The prayers you whispered when you felt unseen. The kindness you offered with no expectation of return. These are the things that move my heart. The world may never applaud the pace of grace, but heaven honors it. I know it feels like others are ahead. But child, this is not a race. You are not competing. You are not late. You are being led by my hand, and I never rush what I value. Growth that lasts is often hidden. Foundations are laid in silence. And the work I'm doing in you is deep, slow, intentional, and it is good. If only you could see what I see: how your roots are stretching, how your spirit is maturing, how your heart is expanding in love and resilience. You're not standing still. You're becoming. So release the pressure to catch up. Let go of timelines that were never mine. Stop comparing your journey to theirs: they're not walking the same road. I am writing your story, and I don't repeat myself. What I have for you is unique, beautiful, and perfectly timed. And when I open the next door, you'll walk through it not only prepared, but transformed. You haven't missed it. You're not disqualified. You're not too old, too late, or too far behind. You're being refined, not forgotten. My timing is not only perfect, it's personal. I know what you need and when you need it. I know how to align your gifts, your calling, your healing, and your readiness. And I'm not in a hurry. I'm in relationship. So breathe. Rest in me. Walk at the pace of peace. Trust that I'm not just leading you somewhere, I'm walking with you every step of the way. You're not behind. You're right on time, my time. My beloved child. You may not think much of what you're doing. You wake up, go about your day, try your best, and lay your head down at night hoping it was enough. You may feel unnoticed, like your efforts don't matter because they don't result in something grand or visible. But hear me clearly: I see your faithfulness, and it matters deeply to me. Every time you choose to do the right thing, even when it's hard, I see it. Every moment you resist the urge to give up, I record it. Every act of love no one else acknowledges, I honor it. You are not overlooked. You are not invisible to me. The world celebrates big moments, loud accomplishments, and public milestones. But I celebrate the quiet integrity of your heart. The consistent yes in the unseen places. The way you choose kindness when no one is watching. The prayers you whisper in the dark. The tears you shed in surrender. That is what moves my heart. You may think you're behind because your life doesn't look like the highlight reels you see. But child, you're building something eternal, something rooted. And rooted things grow slowly, quietly, deeply. What you're doing may not trend, but it will last. You don't need a stage to make an impact. Your obedience in obscurity is shifting things in the spirit. Your faith is creating ripples you may never fully see this side of heaven. When you forgive, it breaks chains. When you serve, it releases heaven's fragrance. When you choose peace over retaliation, you declare the kingdom. I know it gets hard. I know there are days you wonder if it's making a difference. But let me assure you, it is. You're not called to be impressive. You're called to be faithful. And your faithfulness is precious in my sight. Keep showing up. Keep loving. Keep walking in the way of humility and truth. Keep doing what's right, not because of who's watching, but because you know I'm with you. I see when you sacrifice. I see when you sow in tears. I see when you resist temptation. I see when you encourage others even while your own heart is aching. And I am proud of you. Your consistency is worship. Your obedience is fragrance. Your surrender is power. And none of it will return void. So don't let the silence fool you. Don't let the lack of recognition discourage you. I see it all. I honor it all. And I will reward it all, in ways far greater than you can imagine. Even if no one else sees it, I do. And in the end, that's what matters most. My child. There are days when it feels like you're giving everything and getting nothing in return. When you pour love, time, effort, and prayer into the soil of your life, and still, you don't see the fruit. The breakthrough hasn't come. The relationship hasn't changed. The promise feels distant. And deep inside, you wonder, is it worth it to keep going? Let me tell you, yes. It is always worth it. Because every seed of obedience you've planted in faith will bring a harvest, even if it takes longer than you expected, even if you don't see the growth yet. I am the Lord of the harvest, and I waste nothing that is done in my name. You plant with your kindness. You water with your prayers. You wait in trust. And I bring the increase, in my time and in my way. You're not planting in vain. The soil might look dry. The sky might be silent. But underneath, something holy is happening. I'm working in places you cannot see. I'm strengthening roots before I allow fruit. I'm teaching you endurance, patience, and hope that isn't based on instant results. The world celebrates speed, I value faithfulness. Do not despise small beginnings. Do not grow weary in doing good. Do not compare your field to someone else's. The ground I've given you is yours to tend, and when you are faithful with it, I will cause it to flourish beyond your imagination. You may feel like what you're doing is unnoticed, but heaven sees. Every prayer lifted in secret, every act of love that cost you something, every moment you chose to trust instead of fear, I see it, and I will bless it. And know this, child, sometimes the harvest doesn't come in the way you expect. Sometimes the fruit is invisible, growing inside your own heart. Becoming more patient. More compassionate. More like me. That kind of fruit may not make headlines, but it is the most valuable of all. So keep planting. Keep showing up. Keep praying when it feels quiet. Keep serving when it feels hard. Keep believing even when nothing seems to move. Because I promise you, the day will come when what's been growing in silence will burst forth in beauty. The prayers that felt ignored will echo back with joy. The tears you cried into the soil will water the very blessing I'm preparing. You've been faithful. Now trust me to be faithful too. Your harvest is coming. My precious child. I see how often you feel the need to prove your worth. To do more. To be more. To keep up. You try to show strength when you feel weak, wisdom when you're uncertain, and faith when you're silently questioning. You carry an invisible weight, the pressure to be enough. But today, I want you to let that burden fall. You don't have to prove yourself to me. Not with your performance. Not with perfection. Not with doing everything right. You are not loved because of what you do, you are loved because of who you are. And who you are, is mine. From the moment I formed you, I called you chosen. Before you spoke a word, I called you beloved. Before you ever succeeded, or failed, I declared you worthy. Not because you earned it, but because I created you in love, for love. I know the world has taught you to hustle for validation. To chase approval. To measure yourself by numbers, titles, and applause. But my kingdom works differently. Here, identity comes before achievement. Here, love is the starting place, not the reward. You don't have to wear masks with me. You don't have to exhaust yourself trying to meet expectations I never placed on you. I don't need your resume, I want your heart. And even when it feels messy, unsure, or fragile, I still call it beautiful. Stop striving to earn what I've already given. I'm not looking for flawless faith, I'm looking for faithful surrender. I'd rather have your honest questions than your polished image. I'd rather sit with your silence than hear empty words. I'd rather walk with the real you than wait for the version you think I want. You are not behind. You are not broken beyond use. You are not disqualified by your weakness. You are exactly who I knew you would be, and I still chose you. Let that sink in. You are not an afterthought. You are not a disappointment. You are not a mistake. You are mine. And nothing, not fear, not failure, not even your own self-doubt, can change that. So breathe, child. Come rest in the security of my love. Lay down the pressure to earn what I've already given freely. You don't have to keep up. You don't have to climb higher to be closer. I'm already here, beside you, within you, for you. Live from love, not for it. And remember, the only identity that matters, the one that can never be taken from you, is the one I gave you. You are mine. My beloved child. There are moments, perhaps more often than you'd like to admit, when you feel like you're simply not enough. Not strong enough. Not wise enough. Not holy enough. You compare yourself to others, measure yourself against silent expectations, and quietly ask, Lord, am I truly who you say I am? Today, I want to meet you right there, in that vulnerable place. And I want to say this clearly, yes, you are enough, not because of what you've done, but because I am with you. You were never meant to walk this life trying to be self-sufficient. You weren't designed to figure it all out, fix everyone else, or hold everything together. You were created for communion, for connection, with me. And in that connection, you are made whole. I know the pressures you face. The way you sometimes shrink yourself to avoid disappointment. The way you doubt your own voice because others overlooked it. The way you try to prove your value by constantly giving, doing, achieving. But beloved, your worth was never in what you do. It's in who you are, and even more than that, whose you are. I have never asked you to be perfect. I've asked you to be present. Present with me. Present in your weakness. Present in your process. Because in that honest place, in the not enough, my grace shows up in full strength. When Moses stood before the burning bush and doubted himself, I didn't say, you are capable. I said, I will be with you. That promise still stands today. You don't have to be the strongest in the room. You only need to know that the one who is strength itself walks beside you. Stop measuring yourself against impossible standards. Stop trying to earn what I've already declared over you. You are enough, not in comparison, not in perfection, but in me. Your hands may feel small, but I can multiply what you offer. Your heart may feel fragile, but I delight in its tenderness. Your journey may feel slow, but I treasure every step you take with me. I never called you because you had it all together. I called you because your heart said yes. And that yes, even if whispered through tears, is enough for me to move mountains on your behalf. So rest. Let go of the need to prove. Let go of the fear of being too much or not enough. You are my child. My beloved. My chosen vessel. And when I look at you, I don't see lack, I see potential, purpose, beauty, and grace. You are enough, child. Because I am, and I am with you. My child. I know the thoughts that visit you late at night. The quiet what-ifs that circle your mind like shadows. What if you had chosen differently? What if you had spoken up? What if you had started sooner? You think about the years that feel wasted. The time you can't get back. The mistakes that seem to have set you off course. But I want to speak something very clearly to your soul today: it's not too late. You have not missed your moment. You are not too far gone. You are not disqualified. I am not bound by time the way you are. I don't see your life in chapters of too early or too late. I see the whole story, and I know exactly how to redeem what seems lost. Yes, there were things that didn't go as you hoped. There were seasons where pain took the pen out of your hand. But child, you were never writing this story alone. And I never stopped weaving grace through every line. I can redeem the time. I can restore the years. I can rebuild what was broken and breathe new life into what was buried. Nothing is beyond my ability to redeem. Not the job you lost. Not the relationship that slipped through your fingers. Not the calling you walked away from. Not even the years you spent running from me. I can make all things new, and I will, if you'll let me. Don't let regret become your identity. Don't let your past define your present. I don't look at you and see failure. I look at you and see someone who still has breath, still has purpose, still has a future worth fighting for. You may not be where you thought you'd be by now. But that doesn't mean you're in the wrong place. Sometimes, the detours lead to deeper places. Places where roots grow stronger, where character is refined, where faith is no longer just a word, it's your foundation. Let me into those places of disappointment. Let me touch the wounds you try to hide behind productivity. Let me show you what I can do with surrendered time. There's still more for you. More dreams. More healing. More beauty. And this time, it will be different. Because this time, you're not doing it in your own strength. You're doing it with me. So don't look back in despair. Look ahead in hope. I'm already there, and I've prepared something new. Something better. Something holy. No moment is wasted in my hands. And nothing, absolutely nothing, is ever too late for me to redeem. My beloved child. There's a kind of strength that doesn't roar, the kind that shows up every day, quietly, persistently, when no one else is watching. The kind that battles anxiety while still showing up for others. The kind that resists temptation when no one would know if you gave in. The kind that chooses grace when your heart aches for justice. I see that strength in you. You may not think of yourself as strong, but I do. Because I see the battles you fight in silence. I see the nights you lie awake, praying through tears. I see the mornings you rise again when everything inside you says stay down. I see the effort it takes just to keep believing, when the evidence seems against you. And I want you to know, none of that is wasted. None of it is invisible to me. You don't need to announce your battles for them to matter. You don't need to be loud for your perseverance to be powerful. I see what others miss. I honor what others overlook. The secret victories, the ones no one claps for, are often the ones that shift everything in the spiritual realm. Every time you choose to forgive, you tear down a wall. Every time you turn away from bitterness, you plant seeds of peace. Every time you pick up hope again, even after disappointment, you declare war on darkness. And that matters more than you know. You may not have the words to describe your struggle. You may not even fully understand why certain things weigh so heavily. But child, you don't have to explain it to me, I already know. I know the roots. I know the stories. I know the moments that shape the way you see the world and yourself. And I'm not intimidated by the weight you carry. I'm here to help you carry it. You were never meant to fight alone. Even in the silence, even in the confusion, even in the delay, I have been right here with you. You don't have to earn my presence through victory. My presence is with you in the battle. I don't love you more when you win. I don't abandon you when you're weary. I love you because you are mine, always. So today, I want you to feel my nearness. Not because everything is resolved, but because you are not alone in the unresolved. I'm strengthening you, even when you feel weak. I'm covering you, even when you feel exposed. I'm surrounding you, even when you feel forgotten. You are not failing. You are fighting, with faith, with love, with hope. And you are not losing. You are learning how to lean into me, and that is the real victory. My beloved child. I know how uncomfortable the silence can be. You've cried out. You've waited. You've searched for answers, signs, clarity. And yet, there are moments, long, heavy moments, when all you hear is stillness. When the heavens feel quiet. When my presence seems hidden. When your prayers echo back unanswered. But I want you to know this truth, even in the silence, I am still speaking. My voice is not always loud. Not always thunder and revelation. Sometimes it's the whisper behind your restlessness. Sometimes it's the peace that settles in without explanation. Sometimes it's in the slowing down, the pulling back, the space that feels empty but is actually sacred. Silence is not absence. Stillness is not abandonment. I am working in ways you cannot yet see. I am preparing things that require your stillness before they're revealed. You've been trained by the world to equate activity with value, noise with meaning. But in my presence, silence is often where the deepest things are spoken. Where your heart learns to lean, not just listen. Where trust is shaped, not by answers, but by assurance, assurance that I am with you even when I'm not explaining everything. Do you remember Elijah? He looked for me in the fire, the wind, the earthquake. But I came in the gentle whisper. I am doing the same with you. I'm drawing you closer through the quiet, not pushing you away. Don't interpret delay as denial. Don't confuse stillness with inaction. I am not ignoring you. I am inviting you. Into deeper intimacy. Into greater surrender. Into a kind of faith that doesn't depend on constant confirmation, but rests in quiet confidence. And in this silence, I am also healing you. I'm restoring what words cannot reach. I'm building strength you didn't know you needed. I'm detoxing your soul from the rush, the noise, the need to always know. Let your soul be still and know that I am God. The clarity you seek will come, but not before your heart is quiet enough to receive it. The direction you long for will unfold, but not until you stop trying to outrun uncertainty and instead sit with me in it. I haven't changed my mind about you. I haven't withdrawn my promises. I haven't walked away. I'm just teaching you to hear me in new ways, ways that will sustain you when the storm comes, when the crowd disappears, when the answers don't arrive on command. You are not forgotten in the silence. You are formed in it. My beloved. I know how hard it is to keep going when you can't yet see the outcome. You want to be sure. You want confirmation. You want some sign that the path you're on is leading somewhere good. And when things feel slow, when prayers remain unanswered, when change feels distant, you begin to wonder, am I still on the right path? Let me speak gently to your heart, yes, you are. Keep walking. You see, faith was never meant to be built on instant results. It grows in the in-between, in the steps taken when your feelings don't match your faith. In the moments when obedience feels like walking through fog. In the days when all you can do is take the next right step, without knowing exactly where it will lead. But I see where it's leading. And I promise, it's good. You don't need to see the whole road to keep moving forward. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to trust the one who walks beside you. The one who planned your path before you took your first step. The one who doesn't need the road to be clear in order to bring you through. I am with you, in the momentum and in the stillness. In the bold leaps and in the hesitant inches forward. Even when your progress feels invisible, it is real. It is valuable. And it is changing you. Your journey is not measured in visible milestones. It's measured in faithfulness. And every time you say, yes, to me, when it would be easier to quit, to turn back, to settle, you are aligning your steps with heaven. Do not grow weary. Do not despise the small steps. Do not doubt the power of persistence. The world celebrates fast victories. But I honor those who walk with me, even when the path is slow, even when no one sees. Because they trust my heart, not just my hand. And that kind of trust, that kind of love, it builds a foundation nothing can shake. So keep going. Keep loving. Keep forgiving. Keep believing. Not because you always feel strong, but because I am strong within you. You are not moving in circles. You are not wasting your time. I am doing something in you far deeper than what your eyes can see right now. And when the time comes, and it will, you will look back and see that I was with you every step. Guiding. Guarding. Growing. Preparing you not just for the promise, but for the person you would become along the way. So breathe. Take another step. You're not lost. You're being led. And I'm walking with you, all the way. My beloved child. You've looked around and seen others doing what seems grander, louder, holier. You've thought, maybe I'm not ready. Maybe I'm not spiritual enough. Maybe God will use me someday, when I've grown more, fixed more, become more. But today I want you to know, I can use you right where you are. I don't wait for perfection. I don't need polish. I don't require eloquence, credentials, or performance. I look for availability. I look for a heart that says, yes, even if it's trembling. A life surrendered, even if it's still in process. I used fishermen. I used a shepherd boy. I used a stuttering prophet, a grieving widow, a teenage girl, and a persecutor turned apostle. I've always written my greatest stories with the most unlikely people. So if you feel too small, you're in the perfect place. If you feel too messy, that's where my grace shines brightest. If you feel unqualified, then you're exactly the kind of vessel I delight in. You don't have to wait until you've arrived. I'm already walking with you, and I work through you as you go. That conversation you had in kindness. I used it. That act of compassion no one saw. I multiplied it. That quiet faith you showed in the middle of doubt. I smiled over it. You are salt. You are light. Not later. Now. Stop waiting for a title, a platform, a sign in the sky. You carry my presence, and that's all the authority you need. Wherever your feet go, I go. And when you open your mouth in love, my spirit speaks through you, even if you don't feel it in the moment. Don't underestimate what I can do with your daily faithfulness. Don't discount the sacred power of ordinary obedience. You may never see the full ripple of your yes. But heaven does. And I do. And one day, you'll meet people who were changed because you simply chose to show up, with a willing heart, and my love shining through your broken places. You don't need to try harder. You just need to remain in me. I will do the heavy lifting. So shake off the fear of not being enough. I never asked you to be. I only asked you to be mine. And when you walk with me, you become a living testimony that grace really does work. My beloved, I see you. I see how dry your heart feels. You've been trying to pray, trying to worship, trying to read my word, but everything feels numb. The passion you once had seems distant. The fire feels like glowing embers. And you wonder, what's wrong with me? Why don't I feel close to God anymore? Let me speak gently into that silence. There's nothing wrong with you. You are simply in a desert, and I meet my people in the desert all the time. Dry seasons are not a sign that I've left you. They are not punishment. They are not failure. They are invitations. Invitations to know me beyond emotion. Beyond experience. Beyond feeling. To find that your roots can grow deeper even when the rain hasn't fallen. Remember, even deserts are sacred ground when I am there. In the wilderness, I drew near to Moses. In the desert, I sustained my people with manna. In the dry places, I speak with clarity that's often drowned out by noise in seasons of abundance. I'm not far from you, child. I'm closer than ever, even if you don't feel it. You may not have the words. That's okay, I hear your heart. You may not feel the warmth. That's okay, I am still holding you. You may not sense my presence. But my promise is not based on your senses. It's based on truth, and my truth says I will never leave you nor forsake you. This dry place is not forever. There is new life beneath the surface. Even when your soul feels barren, I am planting seeds that will one day bloom. Your obedience in the dry season is more powerful than you know. To keep seeking. To keep showing up. To keep saying, God, I don't feel you, but I still choose you. That is worship in its purest form. Don't chase the feeling. Chase me. Don't wait until you feel spiritual to spend time with me. Come tired. Come dull. Come empty. I don't need you to impress me, I long to fill you. I am the living water. I am the one who refreshes weary souls. And I will pour life back into every dry place, in due time. But first, let me teach you to trust me in the silence. To lean into me, not because of what you feel, but because of who I am. I am faithful. I am near. I am enough. You haven't lost me. You haven't gone backward. You are simply being led through a valley, and I am right here beside you. So rest, child. Don't strive to manufacture fire. Just sit with me in the quiet. Let me whisper to your soul. Let me water what feels dry. And watch, I will cause rivers to flow in the desert. My child. I see how often your heart drifts into the unknown. You try to trust, but your thoughts spin forward, into the what-ifs, the fears, the possibilities that haven't even happened yet. You imagine every worst-case scenario. You rehearse the pain that might come. And in trying to prepare, you lose your peace. But here's what I want you to know, I am already in your tomorrow. You don't have to figure it all out. You don't have to have every answer. You don't have to walk into what's next alone. I am the God who goes before you. I don't just show up when trouble begins, I'm ahead of you, preparing the way. I'm in every detail. Every conversation. Every unknown. There is no part of your future that will take me by surprise. And because I'm already there, you can rest here. I know you want to feel in control. I know it gives you a sense of safety. But child, control is an illusion, one that weighs you down. Peace doesn't come from knowing the outcome. Peace comes from knowing me. Let me carry the burden of tomorrow. Let me hold the pieces you can't yet see. Let me be the shepherd who leads you beside still waters, one step at a time. You don't need to rush ahead. You don't need to anticipate every twist in the road. You only need to stay near to me. My word will be a lamp to your feet, not a floodlight for the entire journey, but enough light for the next step. And that next step, I will take it with you. The job, the diagnosis, the decision, the relationship, the future you can't predict, I'm already there. Already working. Already guarding. Already weaving together what will be best for your soul, even if it looks different than what you imagined. You fear loss. I promise provision. You fear pain. I promise purpose. You fear delay. I promise perfect timing. Do not let fear write your story. Let faith take the pen. Because when you surrender tomorrow to me, you make space for peace today. You stop living in imaginary pain and begin living in real grace. The kind of grace that meets you in the moment, not in advance, but exactly when you need it. So breathe. I've got tomorrow. I've got you. And I will not fail. You can walk into the unknown, not because it's safe, but because I am good. And wherever you go, I'll be there waiting, ready to walk with you all over again. My beloved child. I see how tired you are. Not just physically, but deep within, in that place no one else can reach. You've been pouring out for everyone, showing up when you don't feel like it, saying yes even when your soul is saying, I can't anymore. And now, you feel drained. You feel like you have nothing left to give, not even to me. But hear this, you don't have to come to me full. Come to me empty. I never asked you to show up perfect. I never demanded strength you don't have. I never required polished prayers or flawless faith. What I've always desired is this, your honest heart, just as it is. Come to me when your words are few. Come when all you have is a sigh or a tear. Come when your hope feels paper thin and your strength is flickering like a dying flame. I can work with empty hands. Because I am the God who fills. I filled jars with water and turned them into wine. I filled nets after long nights of nothing. I filled hungry crowds with a few loaves and fish. And I will fill you, too, not because of what you bring, but because of who I am. I am your portion. I am your rest. I am your strength when you have none left. Stop trying to pour from an empty cup. Stop pushing forward in your own power. Come rest. Sit with me. Let the silence become sacred. Let the stillness become healing. You don't need to do right now, you need to be. Be mine. Be honest. Be present. I will fill your soul with peace that doesn't make sense. I will breathe life into weary places. I will remind you that your worth is not in what you produce, it's in who you are to me. And even now, in this moment, I'm pouring into you. Not with noise, but with nourishment. Not with pressure, but with presence. Let your guard down. You are safe here. Let me hold what you've been holding together for too long. Let me be the one who carries what you can no longer carry. I'm not disappointed in your emptiness. I'm drawn to it, because that's where my grace flows deepest. Come as you are. Empty, fragile, even unsure. Just come. And I will fill you again. My precious child. You've questioned if you've gone too far this time. If the choices you've made have pushed me away. You've carried guilt like a second skin, wearing shame over your shoulders like a garment no one else can see. You've looked in the mirror and quietly wondered, could God still love someone like me? Let me speak the truth your heart has forgotten, nothing, absolutely nothing, can separate you from my love. Not your past. Not your failures. Not the words you regret. Not the moments you wish you could undo. I saw it all. And still, I chose you. Before you got it wrong, I loved you. Before you knew better, I called you. Before you even turned toward me, I ran to you. My love is not fragile. It's not earned. It's not based on your best day, and it doesn't vanish on your worst. I do not flinch at your brokenness. I do not retract my affection when you stumble. My love is covenant, not contract. It doesn't expire when you fail to perform. You think I only draw near when you're strong, but my heart is pulled closer when you're hurting. I don't wait for perfection to pursue you. I don't need a polished version of you to love. I already know you, fully, and I love you deeply. Completely. Eternally. I sent my Son not for the righteous, but for the lost. For the weary. For the ones who mess up. For the ones who run. And even now, I'm calling you back, not to punish you, but to restore you. There's no mistake too big for my mercy. There's no distance too far for my grace to reach. There's no stain too deep that my blood cannot cleanse. You can come home. You can begin again. You can be free. Stop rehearsing the lies that say you're disqualified. Stop believing the voice that says you've fallen too far. Listen to mine, you are still mine. Still chosen. Still cherished. Still worthy of redemption, not because of what you've done, but because of what I've done for you. Return to me with your regrets, and I will trade them for restoration. Return with your sorrow, and I'll exchange it for joy. Return with your shame, and I will clothe you in righteousness. My arms are open. Always. Not because you deserve it, but because my love has no end. You are not too far gone. You are one breath away from coming back into my embrace. And when you do, you'll find I never stopped loving you. Not for a moment. My beloved. I know the waiting has felt long. You've prayed with faith. You've trusted with hope. You've watched others receive what you're still believing for, and though you celebrate with them, your own heart quietly aches. There are days when silence feels heavier than pain. When every "not yet" feels like a "no," when you ask me, have you forgotten me? Child, I haven't forgotten. While you wait, I am working. You may not see it. You may not feel it. But I am never idle. Never inattentive. I am always moving, always weaving, always preparing. My delays are never denials, they are divine spaces where something holy is being shaped. I know you want to move forward. I know you crave answers. But some of the most sacred growth happens in the soil of stillness. When you trust me without seeing. When you cling without clarity. When you choose to stay rooted in hope even when the horizon looks empty. You are not being punished in the waiting. You are being prepared. There are things you've asked for that I long to give, but they must come in the right time, the right way, and to the right version of you. And right now, I am forming that version, in the quiet, in the tension, in the waiting room of my love. What you see as delay, I see as protection. What you call silence, I call a setup for something deeper. What you feel is stagnant, I'm using as structure. You're not stuck. You're being strengthened. So don't rush ahead. Don't try to manufacture your own answers. Don't settle for shortcuts that take you away from my presence. Let patience have its perfect work, not just so you can receive the promise, but so you can carry it with wisdom and peace when it arrives. Even Jesus waited. Even Joseph waited. Even David waited. And in that waiting, I built character, resilience, and unshakable identity. I'm doing the same in you. You're not waiting alone. I am with you in every unanswered question. Every delayed door. Every prayer you feel like you're whispering into the wind. I hear them all. I hold them all. And I will answer, not always how you expect, but always in a way that reveals my love. So take heart. Breathe again. Keep showing up in faith, even when you feel faint. You're not forgotten. You're not off course. You are in the exact place where miracles begin. And when the wait is over, you will not only receive the promise, you will realize I was the gift all along. My child. I know the days when you wonder why you're here. When the weight of the ordinary feels too heavy. When your dreams feel forgotten. When your prayers feel unanswered. You look around and feel like your life is just a repetition of tasks and responsibilities. You ask, does this matter? Do I matter? Let me tell you this, yes. You do. More than you know. You were not born by accident. You were not placed in this time and place by coincidence. You were created on purpose, for purpose, by the hands of a loving and intentional God. Every breath you take is filled with meaning. Even when you don't see it, I do. You may not be on a stage. You may not have titles or applause. But the way you love your family, the way you speak kindness to strangers, the way you choose truth over comfort, that changes things. That ripples into eternity. I created you with gifts that no one else has in the way you do. I placed in you the capacity to reflect my heart to the world, in your own unique way. The way you encourage. The way you pray. The way you notice what others overlook. Even your pain, even your past, I'm using it. The scars you carry. They're not disqualifiers. They're testimonies. Stories of how grace found you and didn't let go. I will use them to heal others, to speak life, to show the world what restoration looks like. Nothing is wasted in my hands. When you feel like you're wandering, I see you walking straight into deeper purpose. When you feel unseen, I'm watching you with delight. When you feel like what you're doing doesn't matter, I'm whispering, it matters to me. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't need a 5-step plan. You simply need to stay close to me. When you walk with me, you are already fulfilling your purpose, because you are becoming love, light, and truth in a world desperate for all three. Stop waiting for some bigger moment to believe your life is meaningful. Every day with me is sacred. Every act of obedience is significant. Every time you choose me, even in the smallest ways, you are fulfilling heaven's purpose on earth. Purpose isn't a destination. It's who you are in me. So keep loving. Keep listening. Keep waking up and offering me your life, just as it is. I will take it and multiply it in ways far greater than what you can imagine. You don't need to chase purpose. You carry it. Because I live in you. My beloved child. There are parts of you that you've hidden, not because you want to deceive, but because you've learned that not everyone is safe. You've been misunderstood. Labeled. Silenced. You've tried to explain, but your words were twisted. You've tried to be seen, but others only saw what they wanted. And so, piece by piece, you pulled back. But I want to tell you something sacred today. I see you, all of you, and I still choose you. I know the things no one else knows. The things you never put into words. The emotions you've swallowed. The dreams you're afraid to admit. The thoughts you wish you didn't have. I see the full picture, and I do not flinch. I do not turn away. I do not regret creating you. You were made in my image, not in a version someone else approves of. I know your personality. Your sensitivity. Your sense of humor. Your rhythms and your silence. I know why you care so deeply. I know what triggers your defenses. I know how brave you've been just to get through certain days. You are not too much. You are not too sensitive. You are not too quiet or too intense. You are exactly who I formed in love, on purpose. Let me unburden you from the need to be understood by everyone. Not everyone will see you rightly. Not everyone will value what I placed inside you. But I do. I see the beauty, the tenderness, the gold woven into your being, the parts that haven't even fully blossomed yet. You don't need to explain yourself to be worthy of love. You already are. Let me be your safe place. Let me be the one who listens, really listens, without judgment. Let me remind you that you don't have to change to be accepted. You grow because you are loved, not in order to be loved. I know how exhausting it is to perform, to manage perceptions, to carry the weight of expectations you were never meant to bear. That is not freedom. That is not abundant life. Come to me and find rest for your soul. Let me affirm who you are. Let me reaffirm what I've already spoken over you. You are mine. You are enough. You are cherished. The world may never fully get you. But I do. And I am not asking you to be more like them, I'm asking you to be more like you. Because when you live fully as the one I created, you shine the clearest reflection of my glory. My beloved. You've said the words, "I'm sorry," more times than you can count. You've laid your guilt at my feet, yet somehow, you keep picking it back up. You've accepted that I've forgiven you, and yet, deep inside, you still carry shame like a shadow that refuses to leave. But today I want to say this to your heart, clearly and tenderly: forgive yourself. I already have. You don't need to keep reliving the past to prove you've changed. You don't need to punish yourself to earn my grace. I don't require self-hatred as a form of repentance. What I ask of you is trust. Trust that my mercy really is bigger than your mistake. Trust that when I said, "It is finished," it truly was. Your sins, past, present, and future, were nailed to that cross with me. Not some of them. All of them. When I forgive, I don't keep a record. I don't bring it up later. I don't hold it over your head. I separate your sin from you as far as the east is from the west. I bury it in the depths of the sea. And I don't go diving in to pull it back out. So why do you? Why do you speak to yourself in ways I never would? Why do you hold yourself to a standard I've already fulfilled? Why do you believe you must still wear shame when I've clothed you in righteousness? Let me remind you of something eternal: you are not the sum of your mistakes. You are my child. You are redeemed. You are restored. You are made new, even now. It's time to stop punishing yourself for what I've already pardoned. It's time to stop rehearsing the pain that I've already healed. It's time to walk in the light, not tiptoe through the shadows. Yes, there are consequences in life. Yes, there are lessons in failure. But your identity is not the one who messed up. It is the one I love. And nothing you've done, or failed to do, can cancel that truth. You are not too broken. You are not too far gone. You are not the exception to grace. You are evidence of it. So breathe. Let go. And say it out loud if you need to: I forgive myself, because he already has. That's not weakness. That's worship. That's not denial. That's deliverance. Live free, child. Not just forgiven, but free. My child. I see the way you look around and wonder if somehow you've been left behind. Others seem to move forward, stepping into opportunities, platforms, favor. You celebrate with them, but deep down, a question quietly lingers: Lord, have you forgotten me? Let me answer you now, with love and truth: no, I have not forgotten you. You have not been overlooked. I know your name. I know your story. I know your every hidden prayer, your every act of obedience that no one clapped for. And I treasure it all. You are not waiting because I forgot. You are waiting because I am preparing. You see a pause. I see a process. You see delay. I see development. You see doors that won't open, I see timing that must be perfect. I'm not just working on the opportunity. I'm working on you. Because what I'm preparing for you is not temporary. It's not shallow. It's not just for a moment, it's for legacy. And that kind of promise requires a foundation that will not crack under pressure. So don't let comparison lie to you. Don't let someone else's breakthrough make you question your own timeline. Don't let silence convince you that I'm not moving. I've been working in the background, aligning hearts, refining character, removing obstacles you don't even see. I've been using the waiting to build in you a strength, a purity, a resilience that cannot be rushed. When I open the door, it will be your door, not borrowed, not imitated, not forced. And when you walk through it, you'll carry the peace that only comes from having been held, hidden, and healed by me first. I've seen the moments when you stayed faithful even when no one saw. When you showed up in love even when you felt invisible. When you kept believing even through delay after delay. That is not failure. That is faithfulness, and I reward that more than the world ever could. You are not invisible to me. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are simply in a season where the roots grow deep so that the fruit will last. And when your time comes, and it will, nothing and no one will be able to stop what I've ordained for you. So take heart. I see you. I've chosen you. And your appointed time is in my hands, not theirs. My beloved child. You often look at yourself and wonder, can God really use someone like me? You see your limitations, the flaws, the failures, the fears. You compare yourself to others who seem stronger, more confident, more qualified. And somewhere deep inside, you begin to believe the lie that you're not enough. That maybe God will use you someday, but not today. Not as you are. But child, hear me clearly, I delight in using the weak. Not as a backup plan. Not as a last resort. But because it reveals the beauty of my power. I didn't choose David because he was the tallest, I chose him because of his heart. I didn't choose Moses because he was a great speaker, I chose him because he was willing. I didn't choose Mary because she was prominent, I chose her because she said, yes. Do you see the pattern? I use the ordinary to display the extraordinary. I use broken vessels to pour out uncontainable glory. I use people who are still healing to help bring healing to others. Because when you know it's not your strength, that's when my strength becomes visible. I'm not waiting for you to get it all together. I'm not looking for perfection. I'm looking for surrender. A heart that says, Lord, I don't have much, but what I have, it's yours. And that's where miracles begin. I know you feel afraid. I know you've failed before. I know you still battle with doubt and insecurity. But I also know who you really are. I know what I've placed inside you, gifts, wisdom, compassion, creativity, endurance. And I know what I can do through a life fully yielded to me. Don't let the voice of inadequacy speak louder than my calling. Don't wait to be perfect to be powerful. Start where you are. Open your hands. Offer me your weakness, and watch what I will do with it. Because I don't just tolerate your limitations. I work through them. I shine through them. I move through them in ways that humble the proud and lift the humble. You are not too broken. You are not too behind. You are not too small. You are exactly the one I've chosen for the work I've prepared. So stop disqualifying yourself for what I've already qualified you for. I see your weakness, and I call it beautiful when it's placed in my hands. Because when the world sees weakness, I see a doorway for glory. And I will be glorified, not in spite of your weakness, but through it. My beloved child. I know things feel unstable right now. The ground beneath your feet seems to shift daily. Plans fall through. People change. Dreams that once felt certain now feel fragile. And somewhere inside, you're asking, what can I count on when everything around me feels like it's falling apart? Let me answer with a promise, when everything shakes, I remain unshaken. I am your firm foundation. The world will change. Circumstances will rise and fall. Emotions will shift like the wind. But I do not change. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. My love remains. My word stands. My presence is constant, even when everything else isn't. You may feel like things are crumbling, but I'm not panicked. I'm not surprised. I'm not pacing heaven wondering how to fix this. I'm seated on the throne, sovereign, steady, and still in control. And even when things fall apart, I am still building something in you. Sometimes what feels like breaking is actually rebuilding. Sometimes the shaking is not to destroy, but to remove what can't stay, fear, pride, false security, misplaced identity, so that what's eternal can take root. When the storm hits, it doesn't reveal failure, it reveals foundation. And if you've been building your life on me, even in weakness, you will not be destroyed. You may feel battered. You may feel stretched. But you will stand. Because I am your rock. I am your refuge. I am your hiding place when the wind howls and the waves rise. Do not fear the shaking. Don't run from it. Let it bring you back to me. Let it remind you where your hope truly lies, not in the job, the title, the person, or the plan, but in me. And I will hold you. When you don't know what to do, I'll guide you. When you don't feel strong enough, I'll carry you. When you don't have words, I'll be your peace. You are not alone in the uncertainty. You are not without anchor in the storm. I'm with you. I'm for you. And I'm not going anywhere. So if the ground beneath you gives way, stand on me. If everything else fades, cling to what remains. And when you do, you'll find that I'm not just steady, I'm strong enough to hold you through it all. You don't have to be unshaken to survive the storm. You just have to stand on the one who is. My beloved child. There are battles you face that no one else knows about. You walk into rooms with a smile, but carry a storm inside. You speak words of encouragement, even while your own heart aches. You push through the day while hiding the weight that rests on your shoulders. And sometimes, it feels like no one notices. Like your quiet faithfulness goes unseen. Like the struggle inside you doesn't matter because you're still functioning. But I see it all. I see the silent battles you fight. I see the temptations you resist when no one is watching. I see the tears that fall onto pillows in the middle of the night. I see the thoughts you wrestle, the fears you confront, the prayers you whisper so softly that even your own ears barely hear them. And I want you to know this, your fight matters to me. It matters not because of how strong you look, but because of how faithfully you choose me, even in the tension. Even in the loneliness. Even in the weakness. You see, anyone can shine when everything is bright. But you, child, are still reaching for the light when the room is dark. You are still choosing love when bitterness knocks. You are still walking forward when giving up would be easier. That is holy. That is sacred. That is worship. You don't need to broadcast your battle for it to count. You don't need validation from others for me to call you brave. Your quiet perseverance is thunder in the heavens. Every yes to me in secret is sowing seeds you'll one day see. Every time you forgive without applause, heaven rejoices. Every time you resist bitterness, you reflect my heart. I know there are moments when it feels like you're fighting alone. But you're not. I'm right there with you. And not only am I present, I'm also fighting for you. Strengthening you. Interceding on your behalf when you don't have the words left to pray. You don't need to be stronger to earn my nearness. You just need to be honest. And you've been honest, and that's enough. So let this be your reminder, you are not invisible to me. You are not overlooked. The invisible fight you're in is shaping something eternal. Don't let the silence deceive you, I'm moving in the background. I'm filling the gaps. I'm turning your battle into a breakthrough. And one day, what was fought in private will bear fruit in public. Not for your glory, but for mine. So keep going, warrior of grace. Your silent battle is not silent to heaven. My beloved child. You're standing between what was and what will be. One chapter is closing, but the next hasn't fully begun. And in this in-between space, everything feels unclear. You're trying to discern, trying to wait, trying to be faithful, but your heart aches for clarity, for movement, for a sign. Let me speak to that tender part of you, trust me in the in-between. I know this space feels uncomfortable. You feel exposed, unsure, unanchored. It's easier when things are defined, when you know where you're going and how to get there. But some of the most important work I do happens in seasons just like this. In between is not a mistake. It's not wasted time. It's holy ground. It's the space where I lead you deeper into dependence. Where I strip away what's no longer needed and strengthen what will sustain you in the next season. It's where you learn to walk not by sight, but by trust. You're not stuck. You're being stilled. I'm not late. I'm preparing you. I'm aligning what's ahead while refining what's within. Don't despise this pause. The wilderness between Egypt and the promised land wasn't a detour, it was a classroom. A place of encounter. A place of identity. And you, too, are in a sacred in-between. I'm drawing you closer. I'm giving you new eyes. I'm quieting the noise so you can hear me more clearly. It's okay not to have all the answers. It's okay to feel a little lost. That's where faith finds its voice. You may not see the full map, but I'm giving you daily manna. Daily grace. Just enough light for the step in front of you. And that's all you need. Because I am the destination. Wherever I lead, that's where peace is found. This season is not punishment. It's preparation. I'm pruning, not to diminish you, but to make room for greater fruit. I'm closing doors that are too small for your calling. I'm shifting relationships that no longer align with your purpose. I'm clearing space, not taking away, but making room. Don't rush the process. What I'm building in you now will carry you farther than anything you could build on your own. So be still. Trust me when the timeline doesn't make sense. Worship when your flesh wants answers. Hold on when all you hear is, wait. I am the same God in the in-between as I am in the breakthrough. And when it's time, you will see, not just why you waited, but who you became while waiting. My beloved child. I see how you sometimes question your faith. You wonder if it's strong enough. Pure enough. Consistent enough. You've heard about mountain-moving faith, but most days you feel like you're just holding on. Just believing enough to take the next step. Just whispering prayers instead of declaring them boldly. Let me remind you of something precious, even your small faith moves my heart. Faith is not about volume. It's not about performance. It's not about emotional certainty. Faith is choosing to believe, even when doubt is nearby. Even when the outcome is unclear. Even when all you have is a trembling yes. I never asked you to have it all figured out. I never demanded a flawless belief. I only asked you to trust me, even if your voice shakes when you do. Remember what I said, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, that wasn't a poetic exaggeration. That was truth. I see the seed. I see your effort to believe again after disappointment. I see your choice to trust me when it would be easier to turn away. And I honor that. You think your faith is weak, but I call it real. Because real faith doesn't mean the absence of doubt. It means bringing your doubt to me instead of letting it pull you away. It means showing up in prayer when you don't feel anything. It means lifting your hands in worship even when your heart is heavy. Your faith, however small it may feel, is sacred. It is a flame I will not snuff out. It is a bruise I will not break. It is a whisper I will answer with power. I am not waiting for you to become more spiritual. I am not disappointed that you need reminders. I am not rolling my eyes at your uncertainty. I'm here, close, listening, and I count even your smallest steps toward me as worship. You see yourself barely holding on. I see a warrior in the spirit. You feel like you're wavering. I see roots growing deeper. Because faith doesn't grow by feeling full, it grows by continuing to walk when you feel empty. So don't discredit your faith just because it feels small. I'm building something unshakable with it. I'm doing more with your fragile belief than you can imagine. And one day, you'll look back and realize that every small act of trust moved heaven on your behalf. So keep going, child. Your faith, even now, is enough. Because it's not the size of your faith that saves or sustains you. It's the one you put your faith in. My beloved. I know the weight you've carried, the silent ache of things that didn't turn out the way you hoped. The broken relationship. The missed opportunity. The dream that seemed so right, yet unraveled before your eyes. You prayed. You believed. And still, it ended. Now, you find yourself staring at the pieces. Wondering what could have been. Wondering what went wrong. Wondering if it's your fault. Let me whisper into that ache, it's not over. I'm still writing. What broke you will not define you. It will not disqualify you. It will not be wasted. I'm making beauty from what broke you. You see shards. I see ingredients. You see failure. I see the foundation for something eternal. I'm not afraid of broken things. I entered a broken world, took on broken flesh, and allowed myself to be broken, so that nothing in your life would ever be beyond redemption. Even this. Even the part you've stopped praying about. Even the memory you try not to revisit. Even the chapter you closed with tears. I'm not asking you to pretend it didn't hurt. I'm asking you to trust that I can heal it, and even more, that I can use it. Not in spite of the pain, but through it. Do you remember how gold is refined? Through fire. Do you remember how oil is pressed from olives? Through crushing. And do you remember how resurrection comes? Only after the cross. You're not being destroyed, you're being reshaped. Let me into the places you've closed off. Let me hold the story you're afraid to tell. Let me redeem what others misused, what you misunderstood, and what the enemy tried to steal. You don't have to have closure to have peace. You don't need to understand to be healed. You don't need to rebuild alone, I will rebuild with you. And what we build together will be stronger. Softer. Deeper. Wiser. It will carry my fingerprints and your testimony. So cry, if you need to. I collect every tear. Not one falls unnoticed. And in time, you'll see, those very tears will water something new. A garden from ashes. Joy from mourning. Praise from pain. You may not believe it yet, but you will. Because I'm not finished. And when I'm done, you won't just be restored, you'll be radiant. My beloved child. You've been standing strong, but it feels like the battle keeps raging. Some days, the weight is spiritual, a heaviness in your soul that has no name. Other times, it's emotional, old wounds resurfacing, voices of accusation whispering when you're most vulnerable. And still other times, it's circumstantial, closed doors, unexpected conflict, delays that stir frustration. But I need you to hear me, you are not fighting this battle alone. I'm fighting for you. I know it feels like too much. I know you're weary. You've asked, God, how much longer must I endure? But child, don't mistake the silence for absence. I'm present in the fight, not just beside you, but before you. I go ahead of you to make crooked paths straight. I stand behind you to be your rear guard. I cover you with my wings when the arrows fly. You've tried so hard to defend yourself. To explain. To prove. To make others understand. But let me remind you, you are not your own defender. I am. You don't need to retaliate. You don't need to strive. You don't need to win every argument or justify every decision. Stand still. Be still. Let me be your defender. The enemy wants you distracted, fighting shadows, rehearsing offenses, exhausting yourself in battles I never asked you to fight. But I want you rooted, grounded in my love, shielded by my truth, clothed in my peace. Yes, there are battles you must face. But they are not yours to fight alone. You were never meant to wear yourself out trying to hold it all together. You were never meant to fight with your own strength. That's why I gave you my spirit, your comforter, your counselor, your advocate. Let me train your hands for battle, but let me also fight through you. Victory doesn't always look like visible triumph. Sometimes it looks like peace in the middle of chaos. Sometimes it looks like not responding in anger. Sometimes it looks like resting when everything in you wants to panic. Even now, I'm surrounding you with angel armies. Even now, I'm confusing the plans of the enemy. Even now, I'm strengthening what's weak and breaking what's coming against you. So don't quit. Don't shrink back. Don't believe the lie that you've been abandoned. I am with you in this fight. And the battle may be fierce, but the victory is already mine, and because you belong to me, it's yours too. My child. You've been drifting. Slowly, almost imperceptibly. Not because you stopped loving me, but because life has pulled at you, hard. Responsibilities, disappointments, unanswered questions, silent prayers. Somewhere along the way, your heart began to grow quiet. The fire dimmed. The nearness faded. And now, you wonder, how did I get here? Can I ever come back? Let me answer that for you, yes. Come back. I'm right here, and I never left. You don't need to earn your way back. You don't need to fix yourself before returning. You don't have to climb some spiritual ladder. Just turn your face toward me again, even if all you can offer is a whisper. I know the seasons you've walked through. I know the questions that silenced your prayers. I know the disappointment that made you pull away, not in rebellion, but in self-protection. And still, I stayed. I never turned my face from you. You are not a prodigal I'm embarrassed by. You're a beloved child I'm watching for, arms open, heart burning with joy the moment you look back in my direction. Do you remember how the father ran to his son in the parable? That's me. Not waiting on the porch with arms crossed, but running. Embracing. Restoring. Rejoicing. You don't have to find the perfect words. Just talk to me again. You don't have to feel me immediately. Just sit with me. You don't need emotion to prove devotion. Your presence is enough. I miss your voice. I miss your heart fully surrendered. Not because I need anything from you, but because I made you to live in communion with me. And without that connection, your soul feels adrift. That ache you feel. That longing you can't quite explain. That's your spirit remembering where it belongs. So come. Come tired. Come uncertain. Come guilty, if you must, but just come. I'm not waiting with a list of what you've done wrong. I'm waiting with a robe and a ring. With mercy and healing. With joy and fresh fire. I want to revive what's grown cold. I want to restore what's been lost. I want to walk with you again, not someday, but today. The return doesn't have to be dramatic. It starts with a whisper, God, I miss you. And from there, we begin again. There is no shame in needing to return. There is only grace, and I have more than enough for you. So come home, beloved. I've been waiting for this moment. My beloved child. I know how tightly you've been holding on. To what happened. To what didn't. To the pain no one saw and the dreams that never came to be. I know how often your mind wanders backward, trying to make sense of it all, trying to rewrite what's already been written, trying to heal yourself by replaying the scenes you wish ended differently. But child, hear me, you don't live there anymore. The past is not your home. I'm not in your regrets. I'm in your redemption. I'm not calling you to rebuild the ruins, I'm calling you to walk in resurrection. What's behind you may have shaped you, but it does not define you. Your identity is not tied to your worst moment or your greatest loss. I've already redeemed it. I've already forgiven it. I've already woven it into a story that leads forward, not backward. You keep asking me to speak, but I can't fill hands that are still holding what I asked you to release. You keep praying for breakthrough, but you're anchored to a place I've already called you out of. Let it go. Let go of the bitterness that's grown roots. Let go of the questions that won't change the outcome. Let go of the shame that clings like shadow. You're not meant to carry it into your tomorrow. I'm doing a new thing, but it begins with your release. Yes, it hurt. Yes, it mattered. And yes, I was there. I never minimized your pain. But I've also made a way forward. And the longer you dwell in what was, the harder it becomes to perceive what is, and what will be. Do you feel it? The subtle pull of hope again. The stirring under the surface of your sorrow. That's me, whispering, behold, I am making all things new. New joy. New peace. New relationships. New purpose. But new doesn't mean you forget, it means you forgive. It means you surrender the ashes and trust me to bring beauty. It means you believe that I'm still writing, even after chapters you thought ended the book. You're not stuck. You're being invited forward. Not rushed, not forced, but gently led. So take my hand. Loosen your grip on what can't be changed, and fix your eyes on the one who never changes. I have something better ahead. But you can't receive it if you're still facing what's behind. Let go. Step forward. And watch what I can do with your next. My precious child. I know there are moments you feel unseen. You walk into rooms and wonder if anyone truly notices you, the real you. You speak, but it feels like your voice fades into the background. You love deeply, but question if anyone would love you the same way in return. And somewhere deep inside, a quiet ache forms, do I really matter? Let me be the one to answer that ache, yes, you do. You matter more than you know. You are not invisible to me. I see the way you show up for others, even when no one thanks you. I see the way you serve with joy, even when your heart is tired. I see the quiet strength you carry, the tears you wipe in secret, the battles you fight alone, the kindness you offer without expecting anything back. And I honor every bit of it. You may feel like you're in the shadows, but child, I dwell in the shadows, too. I'm near to the lowly. I'm close to the overlooked. I walk beside those who feel forgotten by the world, and I call them chosen. You don't need a spotlight for your life to shine. You don't need applause for your love to be powerful. You don't need recognition for your obedience to be eternal. I saw you before anyone else did. I formed you with intentionality, with purpose, with care. You were never meant to blend in, you were created to carry my presence, even if no one else acknowledges it. And I want you to know this, I delight in you. Not just in what you do, but in who you are. When you laugh, it brings me joy. When you cry, I draw near. When you question your worth, I speak truth over you again and again, you are mine. Your life makes an impact you cannot measure. The words you speak, the prayers you lift, the presence you carry, they leave eternal fingerprints, even if they seem unnoticed today. Heaven sees what the world misses. So when you feel small, remember, I used a shepherd boy to lead a nation. When you feel unseen, remember, I chose a forgotten girl to carry the Savior. When you feel unimportant, remember, I left the 99 to pursue one. And you, child, are that one. You are seen. You are known. You are deeply, holy, and forever loved. Lift your head. Not because the world recognizes you, but because I do. You were never invisible. Not to me. My child. I know the questions that linger in your heart. The ones you don't say out loud. The ones that wake you in the middle of the night and echo through your prayers. You've whispered, why didn't you stop it, or why did you allow this, or even, where were you, God? You're not alone in asking. Even my son, hanging on the cross, cried out, my God, why have you forsaken me? I can handle your questions. I welcome them. I don't need you to pretend. You don't have to sanitize your emotions in my presence. Come raw. Come confused. Come broken. I would rather have your honest wrestling than distant reverence. But I want you to hear this, you don't have to understand everything to be safe with me. There are things you've walked through that don't make sense right now. And maybe they never fully will, not on this side of eternity. But that doesn't mean I abandoned you. That doesn't mean I stopped being good. There's more happening than you can see. More healing taking place than you realize. More grace being poured out than you feel. You see the surface. I see the soil. You see the loss. I see what it's making room for. When I seem silent, I'm still speaking, just in ways your heart may not yet recognize. When I delay, it's not denial, it's divine alignment. When things fall apart, they may actually be falling into place. I never asked you to figure everything out. I asked you to follow me. Faith is not the absence of questions, it's the presence of trust. Faith is saying, I don't get this, but I choose to stay close. And when you stay close, even when confused, your roots grow deeper. I see how you've continued to seek me, even when I felt far. I see how you've lifted your hands in worship, even when your heart was heavy. I see how you've loved others, even while waiting on your own miracle. That is faith. And it's more powerful than you know. So no, you don't have to understand the why. But I invite you to trust the who. The one who weeps with you. The one who carries you. The one who has never, not for one moment, let you walk alone. Stay close, child. There's more ahead than what you've lost. And one day, the pieces will make sense, not because you earned the answers, but because you trusted me enough to keep walking when you didn't have them. My beloved child. As this journey of words begins to close, I want to remind you of what has never changed. I am with you. Not only on the days when your heart is light and your prayers feel strong, but also on the days when you can barely whisper my name. I have walked with you through every line, every tear, every moment you felt something shift inside you. But I was not only in these words. I have always been in your story. Before the first breath filled your lungs, I was near. Through every joy, every loss, every unanswered question, I was holding you. Even when you didn't see me, I was never gone. Even when you doubted, I stayed. Even when you drifted, I followed. Even when you fell, I lifted. You've wondered if you were too much, too weak, too late, too lost. But child, you have always been enough, because I have always been with you. There is nothing ahead of you that I haven't already seen. No darkness I cannot light. No mountain I cannot move. No sin I have not already paid for in full. Your life is not a random sequence of days. It is a masterpiece in progress, written by the one who knows every beat of your heart. And I am not done with you. Not even close. This is not the end. This is your sending. Sending you back into life, but with new eyes. Eyes that see me in the ordinary. Ears that hear me in the silence. A heart that trusts me, not just when I act, but when I ask you to wait. I go before you. I stand beside you. I live within you. My love is not seasonal. My mercy doesn't run dry. My grace is not earned, it is given, and it is yours. When you're afraid, come to me. When you fail, return to me. When you celebrate, rejoice with me. When you forget, I will remind you. And when the world feels too loud, return to this place. Return to my voice. Return to your source. Because I will never stop speaking love over you. I will never stop choosing you. I will never stop being your father. So walk forward, not in fear, but in faith. Not in striving, but in rest. Not alone, but in me. I am with you, always. To the very end of this age. And into the next. And I will never, ever let you go.